Hello, I'm Andrew.
I'm Eric.
I'm fucking addicted to heroin, and you're watching Unintentionally Offensive.
Okay, good one.
Don't do heroin
Unless you bring enough for everybody.
unless you bring enough for everyone, but don't give it to kids and don't fuck kids.
They've seen 2 episodes of this. They know my name by now, and you guys are gonna say it like 100 times anyway. It's fine.
As long as we don't say your last name.
I can't
I'll
dox
say his
myself
last
again.
name. I'll say his last name. His full legal name is you know, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Well, in his case, heroin's a hell of a drug. But, semantics. It's okay. We love our friend that's dad is a total burnout.
Alright, so what are we all playing
He's
today?
dead.
I'm
He's
playing
ashes.
Traveler's
That's
Rest.
why he's a burnout. That's why they call it that, right?
Yes,
I guess.
is exactly why they call it that.
I mean, I
I'm
would
still
I
playing
would
Blood.
be playing Roblox.
Gotta love that pedophilia simulator.
Yeah,
No, I shit you guys not. Listen, viewers, listeners, whoever the fuck. I'm playing Roblox. I'm having a good time, like, playing Roblox by myself. I'm doing a fucking bicycle obby, because, like, I mean, who doesn't like Roblox? I mean, you guys watching this are probably children, let's be real.
But you're an adult.
I check
And there
my
are
phone,
two
and I have...
kinds of people. There are two
And
kinds of
I
people
have-
that play Roblox.
I
There
have-
are children,
I have messages.
and there are those that fuck children. Don't fuck kids.
No, I'm playing Roblox, and I check my phone, and both Eric and Andrew have sent me messages. Hey, pedophile, get off Roblox.
Someone has to tell you.
Someone had to tell you.
It's just a shame you had to find out this way.
It's grapes, cherries. It's grapes and cherries.
Well, if it's any consolation, I've been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat 1 recently.
Grapes and cherries. Do I
I've
need
gotten
to
very
watch
good with
it?
smoke.
Well, I mean, all I have to do is follow the damn train, CJ.
Wrong smoke.
Oh, we're ancient.
It's Yuri Lothenthal that plays Smoke in this one, which is really funny.
Yeah, you
Because
wouldn't
in
expect him to
MK9
play a black man.
Because, well, Smoke looks like a twink, so it's Yuri's MO.
Fair.
Seriously, what is it with Yuri Lothenthal? And, like, if you look at a character he's played, they're probably, like 9 times out of 10 a twink.
Because stereotypes exist.
I mean, didn't he voice the Spider-Man from the PS5 game?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Spider-Man's a
Spider-Man
twink.
is definitely, like, Peter Parker is definitely, like, if Peter Parker were invented today, Peter Parker would have been a twink. Like, regardless if he would have been gay or not, like, he would have absolutely been a twink archetype.
Mary
Oh, no,
Jane,
for sure.
Gwen Stacy, who else does he date? Black Cat. They all peg Spider-Man, guaranteed.
I mean, it could be worse. You can get paralyzed from the waist down, like my man Nightwing, and just get raped. On a
Was it from the
rooftop.
waist down?
I think it was from the. He was like, I'm pretty sure in that comic he was pinned from. Like, I know he was pinned.
He wasn't
but I think
paralyzed.
he was.
Somebody found out his identity, and, like, whoever killed him, and he didn't want to be touched, and she, like... That wing has been raped, like, 3 different times in, like, multiple continuities. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, but
Well,
my
you know
man
what they
Dick
say,
Grayson.
a little childhood trauma builds character.
My man
He was
Dick
an adult
Grayson,
each time it happened.
Doesn't matter.
My man Dick Grayson's still the best Robin. It's okay.
Alright. By contextual margin of, like, best Robin, do you mean he was the best Robin because he was literally the best one? Like, he was the one who took to the training, took to the ideology, took to this, or he's the best in your opinion? Because Jason Todd has always been my favorite of the Bat Kids, but that's just because he's Red Hood.
Yeah, that
'Cause I
doesn't
loved
make
it.
him a good Robin, though.
Yeah, he wasn't
It's
a
a
good
little
Robin.
gay
I
to
loved
say
it.
that,
Dick
Caden.
Dick Grayson. I love Dick Grayson because he
I think Dick Grayson in the comics, how they've written him, to basically be like exactly like Batman, as far as the fact that like he has the losing the
morals.
parents trauma as well, but unlike Batman, because Batman's a good person, like Batman, i.e. Bruce Wayne, was able to successfully help Dick Grayson like come to terms with his parents dying.
He was able to help
So
Dick come.
yeah, he was able to help Dick come, and because Dick Grayson was able to come to terms with it, he's like he's a more balanced individual, and it's stated multiple times in the comics that like Nightwing is the final version of Batman.
Yeah, Nightwing is like peak Batman.
And like that's mostly what I mean by it. I really like Damian Wayne's story, but like and where it's going, as long as they don't fuck it up. But like the problem with Damian Wayne is like he's such a new character that like tomorrow they could decide going in a new direction with him for the next 20 years, and everything that they've done up to this point would just be like, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But you
I
know,
hate
so far,
Tim Drake.
Damian. Tim Drake's the best detective of the Robins.
But
He
he's
is
still
the best
just like
detective.
the most boring.
He hasn't been like strongly written, which is really
His
sad.
entire character is, I want to be Robin. I just want to be Robin. Like, even when he stops being Robin, he's still fucking Robin.
Yeah, his character is he's a fanboy.
Red Robin.
Like,
Yum.
which
Yeah,
you know,
he's just the biggest fanboy in all of DC.
did you watch
that
the
kid from
Venture
Incredibles.
Bros? Did you watch the Venture Bros?
Syndrome?
Yes, Syndrome, but I'll raise you one
Yeah.
higher than that. So, did you watch a lot of the Venture Bros, Caden?
So I watched a lot of Adult Swim as a kid, and a lot of that comes with I've seen Adventure Bros episodes here and there. I've never watched in order.
So you don't know the story. Because I'll see you
I know
Syndrome,
none
and
of the
I'll
story.
raise you that he's more like Henchman 21. And
Henchman 21. That's the Monarch's dude, right? The one who's always
Yep.
with him and like does
Yeah.
the crime fighting with him when
So,
the Monarch.
Henchman
Like, I've seen enough to know that
21's
the
yeah.
Monarch stops trying to be a villain or something, or I don't fully understand it, but I know that he has an alternate persona. Also,
But Henchman 21's like whole personality is like he's one
I
of the
love the
few
Monarch,
people that gets that he's like in a very like cheesy world, and he fucking loves it. Like that's
Yeah.
Tim Drake, like kind of to a T. Like he understands what he's in, but he's about it. So like,
but
you know,
that makes Tim in the Batman world. That makes Tim Drake very annoying to me compared to someone like Red Hood, which I've always liked anti-heroes anyway. Wolverine's my favorite hero, and Red Hood is my favorite DC hero. So, you know, it tracks. But I just like the idea that Red Hood is like, I respect your ideology, Bruce. However, if I put a gun to the Joker's head and blew his brains out, I mean, you know,
I'm just glad
where's the
that they
harm in
did.
that?
I'm just glad they did something with him, and like he is his own character, because Red Hood could have very easily been a botched character. Like that could have very easily been done wrong, and they found a way to balance it. And how Red Hood currently exists, like I'm a fan of that, and I like that aspect of him. Basically, Batman's just a really well-written series for the most part. There are definitely
For the most part,
one-offs.
hit-or-miss villains and a few hit-or-miss characters.
The best replacement Batman, don't care what anyone says, will always be Terry McGinnis. Batman Beyond is dope.
Because he's a perfect
sweet
clone of Bruce, isn't he?
Man, I understand that. I really, really do, and I know people hate that. But it's kind of cool that cosmically, like, without knowing that he was Bruce Wayne's son, he still ended up linking up with Bruce Wayne, doing the right thing, becoming Batman. So, like, there's things to love about that too. But like,
I don't know why people dislike that reveal though, because that reveal gives us one of the best, most human moments from Batman. Because Amanda Waller's story is, oh yeah, you know, I knew the world needed Batman because this one time with that girl Ace or whatever, and like it's the swing set, like he sits with her till she dies moment. It's like everyone's like,
That
yeah,
was
this is
such
a
a powerful moment in writing. It
everyone
really
always says that
was.
that's the best Batman moment, but you can't say that's the best Batman moment and say that, well, Terry McGinnis sucks because the clone of Batman,
So
because that is the
it
peak example for
it
why
would
we
have
need
been
Batman.
better. It would have been better received, and like this is what I'll criticize it for. Syndicated TV at the time was a bitch because basically, if your show didn't exist to sell action figures and/or it didn't sell the action figures very well, your show didn't exist or it got canceled. So Batman Beyond didn't get the. I think they wanted to do one more season and they didn't get it, so they didn't get to make that reveal in the Batman Beyond show. Had that reveal been done in the Batman Beyond show, it would have
Not
been
the
so
movie.
much better. Well, no, that reveal wasn't done in the movie. That reveal was done in Justice League Ultimate. Because Batman
Was
Beyond.
it?
Yes. Because
I
Batman
thought that was the.
Beyond.
I thought that
No.
was the movie where he takes down Tim Drake Joker.
Nope. That was revealed in an episode of Justice League Unlimited.
Okay,
Was not revealed in the actual Batman Beyond continuity, which is like the biggest problem with that. And I will say that that's a shame, but at the same time, like because the DC animated universe started with the animated series in the early '90s,
yeah.
and it spanned like a whole bunch of shows. Like I don't want to be fact checked on this, but it was like 7 or 8 shows.
There was Batman the Animated Series. There was
Superman.
There
There was
was
Superman the
Unlimited,
animated
Superman.
series.
Wonder Woman had an animated series, I think.
She either did or was going to.
There wasn't a Green Lantern one.
There were
wasn't
3 different
Flash.
versions of the Batman the animated series because they rebooted that a couple of times with like new
Yeah, there was the
adventures, etc.
2004. There was the 2004 one that people liked with the really cool Joker design.
That's not part of that. No.
Really?
That is not part of the DCAU.
That's its own canon. Okay.
Yeah.
I know my favorite Batman show as a kid, and this is just because of when it came out versus my age. Like, because I wasn't a kid when the animated series come out. Otherwise, that would have been my favorite. And if I was born in 2004, obviously, so my favorite would have been the 2004 show if I was born a little before that. But
which is fair.
yeah, my favorite was always Brave and the Bold, but that's also the only Batman show I could watch, and it was a bit more goofier. It had the guy who voices the clones, D. Bradley Baker, as Batman in it, and he does a really good job. And if you've seen the Harley Quinn show, that's who also voices Batman in it.
Yeah.
And he's no Kevin Conroy. No one can be, but I would argue, other than the guy Bruce Green who does it in Batman Under the Red Hood, I would argue Bradley D. Baker would be a good replacement for Kevin Conroy. Not replacement, but you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
for the
like
new
there
who
is.
we need as a.
Yeah, like there is no replacing Kevin Conroy.
There's no replacement,
and,
but like Batman
there
stuff is still going to be made.
Yeah.
We need a constant voice at the very
And-
least. We can't keep switching voice every.
And I'm so like.
And I would say Bruce
humbled.
Green or
Who would you make Joker? Because like Mark
Hamill.
Hamill,
Not Mark
Well,
Hamill,
no, Mark Hamill
Mark Hamill said no.
stated that
John
he's-
DiMaggio.
That's fair. That's
John
fair. I
DiMaggio
could
and like both my castings come from Batman Under the Red Hood because Bruce Green did phenomenal as Batman, and
I probably wouldn't be able to hear anybody but Bender if John DiMaggio did.
you clearly haven't seen Batman Under the Red Hood
I have
because
not.
It's a really good
yeah, no,
movie.
he's really good as Joker. The you cannot tell. Like you can tell it's John DiMaggio, but you can't hear Bender.
So I hate the idea of giving real actors, voice actors, positions. But if I were to give a real actor the voice job, I would say Joaquin Phoenix, because Joaquin Phoenix did. Yeah,
That's fair. Now,
'Cause
I
he-
still like John DiMaggio's performance as Joker. He really comes across as unhinged. Like, and
Yeah,
you know,
he
this
did.
is a very unpopular opinion. What I'm going to say, and I need to preface this with, I love Mark Hamill's Joker. I absolutely adore Mark Hamill's Joker. John DiMaggio is my favorite animated Joker, though.
I will see that, and I will raise you that because of standards in the comic book industry and like TV shows and movies in the 90s, things were a lot different, and comics were still considered too goofy and too silly, so things had to be changed. Had Mark Hamill had the opportunity to exist in a more modern light where like comic books aren't just for super mega ultra nerds, he could have went all out, and I think that
Listen,
had time been
he
on
was
his side,
phenomenal in Arkham.
yeah, and like
And
what
Arkham
I'm
is
saying
very dark.
is, what I'm saying is, had comic books not been considered goofy in the 90s, his starting point could very well have been close to Arkham, and it would have evolved from there. Which that
Yeah.
would have been insane to think about. But
Yeah, that very well could have been the case.
But you know,
Still,
it is what it is, and I don't have a problem with your statement because again, like Under the Red Hood fucking slaps, dude. That movie's
Oh, dude, it's
top
Jensen
tier.
Ackles. If we ever get a live action Red Hood, I don't care if Jensen Ackles is like 49 right now or whatever. He needs to play Red Hood.
There's the aging technology, and we all know how people love that.
I know. I don't care about the aging technology. I just mean, like, he's a young enough looking guy. He looks, late 20s.
I mean,
So,
to be fair,
he wears
Nathan
a
Drake,
mask. He wears a mask the entire time.
To be fair, for a very long time, people wanted Nathan Fillion to be Nathan Drake, and then Nathan Fillion.
And he still should have been.
Nathan Fillion looked exactly like Nathan Drake, like should have looked for a very long time, and then he got a couple lines on his face, and people were like, "Actually, I think he's too old to be him now."
Yeah, and Tom
It's
Holland's
just
too
like-
young to play Nathan
It's
Drake.
like, man,
Tom Holland
come
could have
on.
done a good young Nathan Drake because he looks like he's 12.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and
The
Tom
thing
Holland's
is,
a
Tom
good
Holland's
actor
not a good
too.
actor. Oh, we very different on that because fuck Tom Holland. He's not an actor. He's a pretty boy that people think can act because they see him in movies. That's what I think about Tom Holland.
So what I mean by Tom Holland's a good actor, when he cares about something, he can be a good actor. But he
I
didn't
haven't seen
care
him
about
care about
being
something
Nathan
then.
Drake. He
Or
did not
Spider-Man.
care about Nathan Drake. He really didn't care about being Spider-Man either. But
He was
like,
good in that one movie with Robert Pattinson where he shoots Robert Pattinson.
but like
to be fair,
ultimately,
I would be super serious about shooting Robert Pattinson.
Okay,
Robert
all right. Listen, I just want to say something though. Robert Pattinson. Have you seen the new Batman?
Yes, it's decent.
Robert Pattinson can act. Have you seen The Lighthouse?
No.
Robert
That's on my
Pattinson can
list.
fucking act.
That's
him
on
and
my
Willem-
list. I need to
Alright,
watch that.
I will say Willem Dafoe steals the scene where he gives a like 2-minute speech.
To be
without
fair, it's Willem
blinking
Dafoe.
once.
He steals everything he's in. He's
I
a
mean,
gem.
granted, the best part of Spider-Man: No Way Home, aside from Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, was Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe. Like Willem Dafoe stole that entire movie. That wasn't Spider-Man: No Way Home. This is Green Goblin's movie.
Willem Dafoe almost made Beyond Two Souls a good game. That's
Willem
how
Dafoe
good Willem
almost made
Dafoe
the
is.
Willem Dafoe almost made the live-action Death Note a good movie.
Almost.
Almost. Had we got more Ryuk suits, it might have been a really good movie.
Like honestly, man, like
Wait, that's like the big spiky demon guy that follows
Yes.
the... Okay.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe played him in the live-action.
I wish you would have played Light. I wish that
I
we
don't
would
know
have got
why, but when you said
70-year-old
Death Note,
Willem Dafoe.
When you
That would've
said
been
Death Note,
awesome.
my mind went to Tokyo Ghoul for some reason.
That would have been hilarious. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm Light
Hey.
Turner. I'm your average high school kid, and it zooms in on Willem Dafoe, 70 in
Listen.
a classroom full of children.
Listen, if Angus
Not
Young
speak,
can
Spider-Man.
wear,
Drake Bell played Timmy Turner in the live action.
and he was like 19 or 20
Well,
or something like
in that movie, they aged him up. Yeah, that movie was aged up. Also, to be fair, Drake Bell also groomed minors.
Don't fuck kids.
Don't fuck.
Do you think that's what he
kids.
wished for on Fairly Odd
I
Parents?
hope not.
Cosmo and Wanda, I know what I want. Oh,
I'm a
Jimmy,
child
I
at
think it's a
heart.
good idea.
I'm a child at heart. No, but if Angus Young can wear a schoolboy outfit for like 60 years on stage and
Pretty sure he was
shred a
stuck in that
guitar,
thing. I think he was
um,
stuck in that thing, to be honest.
yeah, like to be fair, him wearing anything else makes no sense at this point. But like again, like bro's been wearing the schoolboy outfit for a long time. I think Willem Dafoe for one movie can be an
Can
edgy
play a
teenager.
can play a 17-year-old kid. Yeah.
I think for one movie he can do that.
I need Spider-Man No Way Home, but you cast like not Tom Holland because fuck Tom Holland, but like some young kid actor who's really good at acting, like an actually good actor as Green Goblin,
I
and
see
Willem
you
Dafoe as
that.
Spider-Man.
I see that, but I raise you this, all right? So, in
Willem
context of
Dafoe as Green
Spider-Man,
Goblin and Willem Dafoe as Spider-Man. Oh,
um,
that movie's bound to.
Spider-Man in the comics, all right. So, a lot of people don't realize this, but Spider-Man was only in high school for like maybe 10
Yeah,
years in the comic books. The rest he's been an adult. Can I please
I know.
stop getting Spider-Man in high school, and can I please just get adult Peter Parker?
Can I
the
get
one that
Parker
we relate
Industries,
to?
please?
Like
That's another one of my
that's what I
problems
want.
with Spider-Man, like No Way Home and stuff, is like he's little Iron Man Jr. Like, let's be real, like he's not Spider-Man, because
He's not.
when I think of
No.
Spider-Man and I think of Spider-Man's gadgets, I think of Spider-Man tinkering away meticulously for his gadgets, and like every time he goes to test out a gadget in like a comic or something, he's like, oh, I hope this works. But in this, he's like, wow, this suit has this? That's crazy, Mr. Stark. Wow, if I shit my pants in this suit, it takes care of it? That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Stark.
I mean, to be fair, like I'll always maintain my opinion about Spider-Man as a whole, and that's this. Peter Parker may very well be one of the best, if not the best written characters in comic books as far as relatable human beings go. But I fucking hate Spider-Man. I said it. Spider-Man's a boring superhero that doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I do like Peter Parker a lot.
I like Spider-Man's quips and stuff. I like Spider-Man. I like when Spider-Man's allowed to be scary though. Like, there's a lot of comics where it's like, because he's always holding back and stuff in his comics. Like when he doesn't hold back is way more fun for me. Like,
to that I answer, just read Batman, or better yet, read James O'Barr's The Crow.
Oh, just watch The Crow.
Or The Punisher. You could watch those, or you can read those. There's arguments for either or.
Read them while you're watching them.
Yeah, read them while you're watching them.
So when I was a kid, I didn't have much cable TV. I had a few channels here and there, and I could occasionally like find a way to get Cartoon Network, to get Adult Swim at night, or stuff like that. We had MeTV, and I remember my first exposure to the movie The Crow was, what's the Crow movie where like he chases a dude down to like a cemetery and the dude's like fucking his girlfriend against a tree?
I think that's
Fourth or fifth one.
Salvation, I think is what that's called.
It was like the fourth or fifth one. It was really stupid. That was my
It's a
first,
bad movie.
That was my first exposure to The Crow, and I really liked it.
Oh no. My first exposure was the real one. It's my favorite movie. I enjoy the story of The Crow because it's an extremely relatable story a lot.
Yeah.
But
it's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
I have it on Blu-ray out there. One of these times I'm gonna have to have Andrew show off like my Blu-ray collection, so it's not something I just like constantly say like, oh, I have a big collection, because that could be like, to some people, a big collection's 10 movies. I got like fucking hundreds. Not Blu-rays. I got hundreds of movies. Like maybe
he's got hundreds of VHSs that don't have labels on them.
I have a VHS. It's Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. That's the only VHS I own. It's more of a collector's thing for me. It's like, oh, I like to have this because it's a collector. It's the same reason why I have like all the Resident Evil games, because I love Resident Evil. I want to have them all on disc physically.
Which is fair. Weird. But if we ever do talk about Resident Evil, because we have talked about Resident Evil before, at some point we need to talk about the travesty that is the 3 remake. The 3 remake is really.
All right,
really
would you rather play
disappointing.
Resident Evil 3 remake all the way through or Resident Evil 6 all the way through? Because I would rather play Resident Evil 6 all the way through because at least I get to hear Leon say, "Huh, women."
I would
Have
just
not
play
played
Resident Evil 4 because
6.
doesn't he say that in the original Resident Evil 4 too?
He says in the original Resident Evil 4, he says it in Resident Evil Damnation. He might say it in Death Island. I don't think so. I don't remember if he does or not. He says it in RE6. He says it in a lot of stuff. Leon says women a lot. He's a sexist, and we love him for
And
that.
a woman.
Leon is canonically a trans woman.
You heard it here first, folks.
I do think that Leon's best written is just a really stupid fucking himbo.
Yeah.
I
sure.
think that,
Look, well,
that
no,
like that is best.
like I said, my favorite line in RE Resident Evil Death Island was when he's like, all these lickers are chasing him and Jill, and she's like, how many of them are there? And he throws a fucking gas can and blows them all up, and he goes, 0. What? You asked how many there were, and she fucking rolls her eyes. He's the only one. Leon is best written when he's the only one who thinks his jokes are funny.
Because Leon is everybody's dad.
Well, no, he's still alive, so it can't be mine.
Nah, when your dad died, Leon took your dad's sins and made you Jesus or whatever.
I was gonna say, is Leon Kennedy Jesus now?
I mean, like, people have argued for years that Obi-Wan Kenobi is Star Wars Jesus, so like, yeah, fuck it.
You get to the gates of heaven, right? You're like, oh, I'm here. I made it. And like you look over and Leon Kennedy's standing there. He's like, hey, get over here. And you walk over. You're like, Leon, I'm a big fan. I can't wait. And he pulls a lever and it drops you straight to hell.
And then I imagine Leon goes, ha, sick burn.
No, he just, regardless of your sex, women.
Women.
Sinners.
Sinners.
We are part of a hive mind. We've established that.
Leon Kennedy is everyone's dad except for mine. My dad is Solid Snake. Don't look up to the fact that Solid Snake is sterile. Don't look up
he's
the
a
fact.
clone.
Yeah, he's
like,
a clone.
I don't know.
Well, it's
Going
because
back
he
to
was
our earlier
cloned to be
thing, when you
sterile.
said perfect clone, my mind immediately went to fucking Metal Gear Solid.
Man, they've
the funny
mucked
thing
that
about
up so much.
Yeah. The funny thing about, like, if Snake was your dad, like, I feel like that would be a terrible parent to have. You'd like, walk into the living room and, like, you just see a cardboard box laying there. Like you know how your parents used to, like, would do that thing where, I don't know what the, like, right word is. Like, they knew you did something bad, so they, like, waited for you to do it again. Like, oh, I know you took something out of the cookie jar. I'm gonna wait to pop in and
just
do
tell
it.
everybody. He just tell me what he was supposed to tell everybody in Metal Gear Solid 1, because there's like 4 instances where like where Otacon's like, Snake, can love bloom on a battlefield? Huh, I don't know. If we live, I'll tell you. Like, he does that like 6 times in the game. So like, I feel like
Snake,
he would just be
you
telling
really
me
think
all
love
the
can-
advice, like,
Snake,
without me asking.
Do you really think love can bloom on a battlefield?
Shut the fuck up, kid.
I was gonna say Snake just like immediately like, if we survive, I'll take you out to dinner. Huey and Snake are gay icons, and I'm here for it.
They
be
most
fair, they
certainly are. They most certainly are.
Fucking everybody ships them.
But like, I think when you talk about Snake being a clone, I think the funniest thing is because like Metal Gear has gone through so many retcons. Like,
So,
going back to the first Metal Gear
legit
Solid.
question before you get any farther. He is a clone with all of the dominant genes. Does that mean being gay is a dominant gene?
Yes. Because think about it, you don't have to worry about having kids. You will always have a good job, which means you will always have money, and your property value is always higher, and your cleanliness rating is always higher. Like, literally tell me the downsides besides AIDS.
Does that also mean, well, because he's sterile, does that mean being sterile is a dominant gene?
Well, no, so they were both
It
sterilized
is
so
when
they
I look for
couldn't have
women.
children. They were sterilized so that they wouldn't have children, both of them. Well, all three of them.
It's like Halo. In Halo, the Spartan 2s are like all like, they have their hormones removed so they don't get horny.
Yeah, but Metal Gear Solid's cloning thing gets retconned like quite a bit because originally in Metal Gear Solid 1, if you look at Snake, like he looks Japanese because the the story was, well, he was put in a Japanese woman, so his face is Japanese, and Liquid Snake was put in a like a British woman, so that's why he has those features. But then Metal Gear Solid 4 comes and says, let me take a shit on this shit sandwich real quick. And Eva is somehow the one that carried both of that, well, all three of them. And like, it's like, but why Snake Japanese then? They never explain that.
They never address that. They just like,
Which, to be fair, like, Metal Gear Solid 2 onward, like, he looks less Japanese, and it might be because of the technology in Metal Gear Solid 1. Snake's head does do the squint eyes quite a bit. So it might be that. Unsure. And even then, like, when you look at the video calls at the beginning of the game, like, he looks more closer to how he's supposed to look, so it's kind of up in the air because they did throw out in the first Metal Gear Solid, I think, about why he looks Japanese, but I think that's since been retconned. A lot of things have been retconned.
See, you say he
because
has the squint eyes and whatnot. I thought he was just angry the whole time.
yeah, I just thought that was like the main character like grimace that every like action hero has.
I mean, to be fair, like, honestly, what
Furrowed
it
brow.
is
Also,
well,
the
like,
bandana pushing down his brow had a little bit to do with that too.
well, and just eyeballs were not, like, in that art style, like, doing eyeballs wasn't a thing, and the reason why they went with that simpler art style than what they needed to is because, again, like, when you look at Final Fantasy VII and the cutscenes, you know, they're scaled way up and they look like actual people. But Hideo Kojima said, nah, man, I want these action figure people to look the same in the cutscenes so it doesn't bring people out of the immersion. And I think that was valid, and it is, like, actually, in my opinion, like, makes those models look better because your brain just fills in the blanks. And, like, obviously when I play Metal Gear Solid 1 or when I watch somebody play Metal Gear Solid 1, I don't look at his eyes and be like, oh, they're all squinted. Like, I'm just watching Solid Snake do his thing, and
Yeah.
it's totally fine.
Here's the thing: I could never play. Is it Metal Gear Solid 2 with Psycho Mantis?
No, that's
No,
fine.
that's Solid 1.
That's one. Okay. I could never play Metal Gear Solid 1 because like if I were to play it, if I were to get it on my like laptop or whatever, I'd fight Psycho Mantis. You'd be like, I see you're a big fan of strip poker at the inventory night, and he'd just make fun of all the porn games I play.
No, that's not how it works. It has to be Konami published games.
Shut the fuck up.
Unless you're playing on the GameCube, and then like he'll mention Metroid Prime and Super Mario
Super
Sunshine
Smash Bros.
and
Melee,
Smash
I
Bros.
think.
I see you're a big fan of gay porn. Me too.
Interesting thing about the Psycho Mantis fight on PC, if you so you play that game with a controller, and the Psycho Mantis fight makes you pick up the keyboard, because that's fun.
Yeah, because the
People
original
like
you had to switch.
Switch ports.
Yeah, which that was dope.
How
I
do
think that's cool. I wish more
do
games
that
would
on a
lean into stuff
laptop,
like
though?
that. You'd probably have to use the
See, my-
keyboard. You'd go from
You'd have to
controller
use
to
a
keyboard.
keyboard.
Speaking of Metal Gear Solid, I played the remake on the GameCube. That's the only way I played it. That's
I
fair.
have
But
Sons of Liberty. Oh wait, I'm gonna go check. You keep talking.
Twin Snakes. I just blanked out on what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. I got it secondhand. I got it from a GameStop, and it came in one of those cases that didn't have the art on it. It was just like the generic GameStop design on it. I got to a point where I couldn't progress because I had to find Meryl's Kodak number, which was on the back of the
And
box.
that's in the yeah,
So I'm
that's
like,
in the back
okay,
of the box, and you
I will just ask the
and
internet.
there's no internet. You can't look it up. Oh,
No, I had the
never mind.
internet. So I got on the internet. This is when I had to actually go visit somebody to use the internet because my mom thought I was just going to use it to look up porn.
Which you would have.
And she was right.
Which you would have.
Probably because I was a dumb kid.
A dumb kid, a curious kid who wants to beat his dick.
I mean, to be fair, what else in life do we got?
But
Women.
yeah, like, well, if we're beating our dick, then we don't have a woman.
That's why love can't bloom on a battlefield.
So yeah, I went on the
can in a
internet and was like,
foxhole
hey,
between two bros.
I need Meryl's Kodak number, but like, there's nothing in the game to tell me what it is. And like, everybody on these forums I was going to was just like, well, just look at the back of the box. Like, well, I don't have the back of the box. Like,
Secondhand game is secondhand game.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I bought the game used from a GameStop. I don't have the box. I can't.
Did it have that funky art on it that they always have with like the 3 characters that are like vaguely Japanese?
Yes.
I love that art. I don't know why they did away with it.
I hated it, and I hate GameStop for all the shit they do with used games.
I hated it. Fuck you.
I have a reason, because the local GameStop I went to, again, this is before I could drive. I went there and spent like $20 on a handful of games. Went home.
God, inflation really has
Right.
ruined the economy.
Well, these were used games that were like 5 years old, so you know they were trying to get rid of them.
My GameStop has 5-year-old fucking used games, and they're still like $30.
Fair, but you know, I got these games. My mom drove me home, and we get back. I pop them all in and see if they work. Not one of them worked.
See, okay, you can be angry at GameStop for that, but in recent
that's
years,
not what
every
I'm.
time
That is not what I'm
okay.
angry at GameStop for. I had my mom drive me back because none of them worked, and it's like a 45-minute drive.
Yeah.
And I get there, and I'm like, hey, I got these games like literally like 2 hours ago. None of them work. I want my money back. And they just look at me like, these are used games. Like, yeah, I got them from you guys. It's like, well, you need to take better care of your stuff. We can't do anything about it. It's like, you sold them.
Have
to
your
me.
receipt?
People.
Yeah, I had my receipt and
Fucking
everything.
hate people.
They probably just thought, oh, he's a dumb kid. He's just gonna not fight this. And I mean,
You were right.
they were right because I'm socially awkward, but
Did your
also,
mom
like-
not try to fight it?
I just kind of lied to her and told me I got my money back, and just like, because she would have made a whole scene. Like, when my mom tries to defend me, she's
Let her
like,
make a scene. I feel like that's like the one time where it's like, no, these guys are dickheads. I want there to be a scene.
when she makes a scene, it embarrasses everybody.
I feel like this is one of the okay scenarios for that. Anyway, did you ever figure out Meryl's phone number?
Yeah, it took me like 2 fucking months to actually like get somebody to tell me, hey, what is the fucking codec number? Because at the time, nobody had posted the back of the box online. Everybody on, I forget what forums I went to. I know GameFAQs is one of them, and they're just like, hoo, go look at the back of the box. And yeah, eventually I did get it. Like, I beat the game.
I want to see if I can just fucking Google this right now and see how
You
fast I
probably
can get her
can.
codex number.
You probably can.
I just
now.
want to. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like it's gotten way easier to do this shit.
Yeah, you could literally go on Google Images right now, and I'm sure that like immediately the back of the box pops up. But like, as
Barrel's
shitty
codec
as that
number.
was, as
It's 140.15, Andrew. You're welcome.
which is a
Thank you.
reference to Metal Gear 1 and 2. That is like somebody else's codec number from that game. I think it was the Colonel's. But as much as that personally sucked for you, still one of the best like anti-piracy like tricks out there was that for sure.
Yeah,
In
I
my
love
Yeah.
how a lot of
opinion.
old games would do anti-piracy because, like, I played a bunch of these old point-and-click adventure games that had them in it, and like, there's this one game that was like a detective story called Laura Bow. When you fired the game up, it would bring up this picture. It's like, hey, here's a fingerprint of one of the 10 characters in the game. Who does it belong to? There's nothing on the screen to tell you who it belongs to. But if you go into the game's manual and thumb through it, it's like, okay, here's this person, here's their profile, here's like a little blurb about them, here's their thumbprint. Um,
So,
there was a.
what happens if you click the wrong one, though?
It exits the game.
Oh, so you could just keep reloading it, though, until you actually got the right one, though?
In theory, yeah.
It
But
asks
it
you
would
a
waste
random
all of
one.
your time.
Yeah, it asks you for a random one every time. It's not the same one.
I'm just saying you'd have to, like, write it down and, like, try to memorize it.
You could.
I used to, like,
You'd be
have, like,
wasting so much time, and it wouldn't be worth it.
There was a
I used to
game
have
called Railroad
journals full of
Tycoon
cheat
that
codes I would write down.
there's a game called Railroad Tycoon that when you popped it up, it would show you a picture of an in-game picture of one of the train engines, and there were like 60 of them, and it would ask you, it'd give you like a multiple choice of like 10 different things to choose from, and the wrong answers would be randomized in it. The correct answer would always be there, but it would ask you to tell us what the name of this engine was, and you'd have to go to the list of the train engines in the back of the book, and it would list them there. Problem with that is the game was in color, the book was in black and white, and there were several of them that the only difference was the color.
Right, so. Okay, that's fair. Anyway, I
Color
went to
matters.
look at my thing. The thing I said I was going to look at. Because I have a PS2 in my room for a bunch of older games that I want to play. I have, the only Metal Gear game I own is Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty.
Which, I don't hate
PS2.
that game. Don't hate that game, but it's not as good as what people say it is.
Solid Snake is back in the latest installment of the critically acclaimed series from director Hideo Kojima.
He sure is, and there's no lie being told there.
This is the one with Raiden in it, of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
The demo
Yeah, top
or
secret
the,
weapons
the
technology
teaser
is
that
being
they
mysteriously
dropped.
transported.
Yeah,
Was the teaser they dropped the one mission where you play as Snake and then everything
Yep.
else is
it was
Raiden?
like an hour or two you play as Snake, and then the game starts. The game actually
It's up
starts,
to
and you play
Snake
as
to
Raiden.
infiltrate the transport and keep this deadly weapon of mass destruction from falling into the wrong hands. Up to Snake and only Snake, apparently. I can't wait to play this game. Oh, look, the back of the box has Snake on it. I don't see a white-haired twink. The only Metal Gear games I've played are Metal Gear Solid 5 and Rising Revengeance. So, I know virtually nothing about Metal Gear, except everything I've seen in lore videos.
I've played Metal Gear Solid. I've played Metal Gear 1. I've played Metal Gear Solid 1. I've played Revengeance up to the first boss. And I've played most of 5.
Second boss, the wolf dude, is the second boss, because the first boss is a Metal Gear that you, like, samurai sword in half.
Okay, so the demo is probably different.
Oh, shit. Wait, what's the demo?
The demo ends with the dog.
Okay,
And that
because
was the
the
first
first
boss.
level is...
That was the first boss you fight in the demo.
Okay. So that's the second mission, I believe, because the first one is your armored transport gets attacked by Sundowner and Jetstream Sam, and you kill a Metal Gear, then you fight Sam on a train, and he cuts your arm off and fucks you up, and that's why you're all more metallic looking. And then you go through playing more, and then you fight the dog, continue the level, and you fight Miss Straw at the end of that level.
Yeah, so the part with Sundowner and Jetstream Sam is not in the demo, as far as I
Okay,
remember.
so yeah, because that's Jetstream Sam kills the president of Kenya, maybe? I'm not sure. It was the president of
Yeah,
some country in
it's
Africa.
one of the presidents.
It's somewhere in Africa. Don't remember which country because it's not a big focal point of the game that he murdered that dude. It's just he murdered him because the war economy needs to prosper, Jack. Why, why do they call him Jack? Is that something
Because
from
that's
Metal
his
Gear
actual
2?
name.
Okay.
That's Raiden's real ass name, unless you watch Friends Without Benefits, Tungo from Bungo
Bungo
from
from
Tunga.
Tonga.
So, okay, how do they know his name is Jack and not Raiden, though?
Raiden's a code name. Raiden it was never ever introduced as his real name, ever. In Metal Gear Solid 2, like Rose gets yelled at like 5 times for calling Raiden Jack because Colonel's like, Rose, you must call Raiden by his gamer tag.
Right, okay. What? So his real name's Jack. He goes by
Yes.
Raiden. Why do they know that his name's Jack, though? Like, they meet this dude for the first time ever, and they go, you see, Jack, the war economy needs to prosper. If I was Raiden, instead of being like,
Don't think
what the
about
fuck
it.
are you talking about?
Don't think
If
about it.
I was Raiden and someone was using my name, I'd be like, how the fuck do you know my name, dude?
Ultimately, what I would assume is Metal Gear Solid 4 logic of because of how the AI systems worked, everything was interconnected, and like PMCs, basically like private military companies or militias, like were everywhere, and they all had access to nano machines. So like it could very well be that that information like was just kind of sort of public if you like had a
I guess.
minor hacking
Because
skill.
Raiden is part of a PMC group, right? That's the whole thing.
I believe so. It's been a very long time since
He's
I've
supposed to
played or
protect this
watched
guy or whatever,
Revengeance.
blah, blah, blah. And then the guy gets
Yeah.
killed and he's angry. He's also known as Jack the Ripper, which I don't know what that.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Kind of, yeah. It's just an edgelord nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know. That's right. So he's called Jack the Ripper because he has a memory problem, and you end up finding out later on that his whole entire deal was that Big Boss found him as a child and made him a child soldier in Africa.
So
Thus,
Metal
Jack
Gear
the
Solid
Ripper.
5. Metal Gear Solid 5, the guy you play as finds the kid and then makes him Jack the Ripper.
Either Venom Snake or Naked Snake. I don't know which Big Boss found. Little bit of a spoiler for you. What is it? Fuck. Train crash. The whole town died.
We gotta talk about something that isn't Metal Gear on this episode because the last episode was titled Metal Gear.
The last episode was titled Metal Gear. What was I going on about just now?
Venom Snake probably found him because
Yeah, Venom Snake probably found him because if I'm remembering right, that's where Venom Snake is based later on. Because a little bit of a spoiler, you're called Big Boss in that game, but you're not actually Big Boss. You're
I know that. Of the game.
Yeah.
His Big Boss is the guy that tutorializes you in the first mission, because you're Keither Sutherland, and the guy who
because there are two big
tutorializes you
bosses.
is voiced by David Hayter, right?
Yeah, and there are two
we
big
need
bosses.
To get out of this hospital. Granted, Keither Sutherland. Have you ever seen the movie Stand By Me?
I think I have.
He plays a guy called Ace in that, and it's so funny seeing like him play that character versus anyone else he plays because he went from like cool, like groovy 50s dude, because it's that movie set in the 50s, and he's like very much like got a very slick voice, I guess is the best way to say it. Like he sounds normal. He doesn't sound like Keith or Sutherland. It's just is Keith or Sutherland. He's like, okay, Chambers, here's what we're gonna do. Compared to like anything else you hear him in, where it's like, Ramirez, fire the fucking, like where he sounds like he's been chain smoking for 400 years. Which is nothing against Keith or Sutherland, because he's a great actor.
Yeah, he is. I have mixed feelings about him just replacing David Hayter, but I understand the reasoning as to why they went with that.
At least it's like a clone thing, so it's like, oh well, David, it wasn't actually
Well,
the
It's just
guy,
plastic surgery.
but who knows?
yeah, so like the clone is a very loose term. He uses
Body double.
It's a body double, and Ocelot uses psychology to mentally clone Big Boss.
Okay.
It's
because
it's
I never
really
understood
convoluted.
that game. Because, like I said, Metal Gear Solid 5 was like the first one I played.
I don't
So
think
I never
anybody
understood,
really
'cause-
understands Metal Gear, like, at all.
True. But I mean, it's like jumping into 5, knowing what I knew at that point. I'm like, wait, why am I working with Revolver Ocelot? He's a bad guy. He, like, Revolver Ocelot's...
Arguably, Revolver Ocelot is the main character of the series.
Listen, I don't give a fuck because he's voiced by Troy Baker and I love him. However, now I'm kind of upset now that I'm thinking about it more because Kaz Miller, whatever.
Yeah,
Really love
they
that
fucked
character
him
as well.
up. They fucked him
Really
over.
loved him in Metal Gear Solid 5 as well. Just now realizing he's a bad guy because you're the bad guy because you're Big Boss, and then I don't fucking care.
Well, so you're the bad guy. So like, here's the thing about Big Boss, which Hideo Kojima probably still fucking strokes off Big Boss, which is fine because Big Boss is a well-written character. He's not a villain; he's an antagonist. Because like ultimately, like his whole entire thing is, if I can make the world unite into thinking that there's an enemy, like
He does the Watchmen thing.
yeah. And like
Okay.
he's doing it for a benefit. He's not evil per se, but like
His
he's a good
motives are
person.
evil, or not his motives. His actions are evil, but his motives are in the right place by all technicality.
Yeah,
much
good
like
people
in
that do
Watchmen.
terrible things.
Nuking an entire city is bad, but that stopped the Cold War, so it's good. Watchmen does that. Okay, I see. It's something like that.
Yeah, and we can talk about man, I hate whenever I need to say a name, it just escapes me. Like that's the worst fucking trait ever.
Big Boss, Venom Snake,
no,
Keith or Sutherland.
nope, none of that. No, the guy who wrote Watchmen.
Alan Moore.
Yeah, Alan Moore. He's a really interesting figure.
What else did he write that was very popular? I know Watchmen. There was
he
wrote the Killing
Joke.
Did he write? I have two of like the best Batman comics ever. I have Killing Joke. It's like the special edition one, and I bought it the same time I got Watchmen. Funnily enough, because I have that graphic novel, obviously, and I have. Actually, I kind of want to have you guys ever read Batman: A Serious House on a Serious Earth?
No.
Nope.
Oh my god, that comic is so fucking good. It's arguably my favorite Batman comic, other than Under the Red Hood, and Under the Red Hood's just my favorite because it's Red Hood. So, yeah,
V for
Batman.
Vendetta is probably the other thing you were thinking that I wrote.
Yeah, I think he
He
wrote
wrote that one's
I've
good
got his
too.
Wikipedia page up.
Which like really really good movie. I have interesting thoughts about like Guy Fawkes as like the real life Guy Fawkes as a whole. Like kind of interesting, but also like it's like Guy Fawkes Day is a very very like morbid holiday because it's just celebrating the day that like they killed him, basically.
Yeah.
Still kind of an interesting figure though.
So, Batman A Serious House on a Serious Earth is called Batman Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on a Serious Earth. So you can kind of figure what it's about if you've played Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, and to my knowledge, that at least for me was the best of the Arkham games. Like,
Yeah.
because I didn't play Arkham Knight because I was just burned out with the Arkham series.
Yeah.
Like, I think when
My
they put you in a
favorite is
city
Knight,
environment,
arguably.
yeah, which I understand that
But I
it's
love
just the city
Asylum.
was
I
too
love
big.
Asylum. I
This-
love them all. Asylum is like, it depends on like what mood I'm in for what Arkham game I want to play, because
City was
Arkham Knight,
another game I didn't beat because I got bored about halfway through it.
that's
It
fair. City
it
isn't the
suffered
greatest.
from Assassin's Creed like ism where it's like, let's put you in a really really big environment and just like make it a collectathon.
Yeah, I
Like
love and
that's
hate Assassin's Creed because that's like their design
Depends on the
philosophy is
Assassin's Creed.
they don't want you to go more than 15 seconds without having something to do. But
yeah,
the things to do are
it's
just, oh hey, here's like a piece of armor that you can pick up. Here's one of the 8,000 collectibles that's just in this region.
Yeah, that's fair. I love the
it's
Ezio collection. Like all three of the Ezio games are
same
good.
same. I dig Ezio's
That's not
story and
because of
his
how they
character.
play. It's because of Ezio himself. Yeah, it's like character. Well, like Assassin's Creed has never been a game that's been heavily like here's fun gameplay. It's like all the fights can easily be won by press B, then press X, or the counter and then attack. Like
Hold
just counter
dodge or
attack and
not dodge, hold block until the enemy hits you and then hit counter, and that's
exactly.
every fight
It's
in the
every
first like 6 games.
and the stealth isn't anything like special either. In fact, it's very like buggy at times. Like occasionally you'll be doing stealth and some guy will just like 360 spin. You there? It's fine for what it is, but like story wise, Assassin's Creed has always been good.
Well, it was good until 3, in my opinion, because like what they did
Yeah,
is
three
the
story was a
thing.
little
Well, like this is what
Four had
I'm
a good
saying.
story
That
though.
I have a point. Please let me make my point. What they did is the one thing that you should never do whenever you're the creator of a property that's really, really popular. They listened to the fans. The fans said, "Oh, I really just don't care about the overarching story of the Assassin's Creed games. The real life stuff's just boring, and I think that being in the Animus is what Assassin's Creed is all about. And if they just got rid of the overarching
Desmond?
story, Assassin's Creed would be better." Desmond is the main character of the series until 3 when they
Yeah.
just kill him off. Like
Yeah, they
when
killed
they
him for
did
no
that,
reason, and
when they did that, they ruined Assassin's Creed, in my opinion.
no,
Like it,
because they killed him off, and then it's like people didn't like the out of like the Animus stuff. So here's the new thing. Now you're working at Abstergo offices and doing this, and
yeah,
it's like
and
See,
if
I
people didn't
like
like
that
this,
better because
why did you put it in the
I'm one
game?
of the fans that didn't like the modern day stuff. But I
they
think
were setting
I
Desmond
don't-
up. Like that's
let
the
me
thing
finish
that
my
I have an
opinion.
issue.
Let me
I
finish my
haven't finished mine.
Okay, let me have my
I
opinion
haven't
when you're
finished
done, okay?
mine.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, finish your opinion, but let me have mine.
I will let you have yours.
Okay.
My problem is they spend like at that point 3, 4, so yeah, 5 plus a couple of spin-offs with Desmond, and they're setting up him becoming an
Brotherhood
assassin.
and Revelations.
Yeah, and like so that's 5 mainline, and I think there might have been a spin-off or 2. So they're setting up
Liberate.
him.
No, not Liberation.
No, Rogue didn't come out. Well, no,
Yeah,
was
Rogue
Rogue?
was after.
There
was
was
after
another.
4.
Yeah, there.
Yeah,
Well, there was
another
a
one.
spin-off. I just
there
don't
was
remember
one-
what for.
There's 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, there was Revelations, Brotherhood, and I think that's it.
I think there was a spin-off of 3. I don't remember.
There
though.
was.
Anyway,
It was Liberation.
yeah. Anyway, they spend all this time like setting up that Desmond's body is learning from being in the Animus, and he can do assassin things, and like you get a taste of that, and he's starting to become like an actual assassin, and as far
Yeah.
as the ideology and the physicality, and he's starting to get like really really good at that, and then they don't do anything with it for a game and just kill him off, and it's really really bad. Now you can have your thought and your opinion. My problem is they did all of that setup for something that could have been really, really good, and they did nothing with it.
Now,
Yeah.
I will preface this by saying that I didn't complete the first Assassin's Creed. I got, uh, I'm gonna say like 4 or 5 assassinations into it, where you're after like the big targets. I
Yeah.
feel I was like most of the way through the game.
That game got very repetitive,
Yes.
which
No,
it is what it
'cause
is.
It was just like, oh, you killed that guy. Now go here, talk to this dude, and then this
And you
dude will
do
tell you
that
who to
like
kill next.
15, 20 times, and
Yeah,
like
like, and I
it's
liked,
not bad.
I liked the
It's
gameplay loop of, hey, you have to find out like where your target may be. You have to kind of figure out what your approach is. You have to figure this out. I liked how you had like those little subquests that helped you do that. But my problem is like after every assassination or every other assassination, you were pulled out of the Animus, and basically now you're playing as Desmond, and you have the option of talk to girl or go back into the Animus. And half the time it's like, oh no, you have to talk to the girl anyways. And
Then she
the
tells you
modern
to
day
go to
stuff,
bed.
yeah, like the modern day stuff in the first Assassin's Creed game was boring.
it
Yeah,
was
that was
very
Yes, it was leading
front
up to
heavy.
something. It was leading up to something, yes, but I feel they should have kind of accelerated that if they were going to lean into Desmond taking over the actual story. Also,
Yeah, it
I
was very
feel
front heavy with that.
I feel that they marketed Assassin's Creed as kind of like a period piece. I don't know if that's the
Yeah,
right term, but like, um,
Ooh, technically is, yeah.
yeah, I feel that they were marketing it as a, hey, you're going to be playing as this character from history who happened to be an assassin, and you know, start of the game, you're getting into Animus. It's like, okay, it's interesting, but like I bought the game to play as Altair,
which that's totally fair. The first
and
game's really clunky in a lot of aspects in its game design. Again, going to going back and forth between 3 cities 3 times, I think is what it ended up being.
it's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Was Yeah, it was 3 or 4 cities, and I think you do it 3 or 4 times, like for each city. It's super
And then the guy's like,
clunky.
I'm evil.
They didn't know what it was yet, and you were being introduced to the world as well as Desmond, so like things are slow and like
Yeah.
But
for
yeah,
all
in
intents
the
and
first game,
purposes, in 2007, like it is what it is.
yeah, in the
Like
first
that's
game,
also
Desmond
a
was a boring
thing,
character, and I didn't give a shit about him.
which is fair.
And
But
also the game got really repetitive, so I didn't return to it when 2, the rest of the
came out.
Ezio collection came out. 3, I heard really good things about Black Flag, so I decided to give the series another shot. I really liked Black Flag, except for that one mission that everybody knows about.
Stealth boat section,
Yeah,
because that fucking sucks.
Side note,
Um,
like talking about the characters that you play in the Animus, as far as like my rankings are concerned, my top 3 are going to be actually in that order of Ezio, well not Ezio, but Altair, Ezio, and Edward. And it's a flip flop between Ezio and Edward. Like if we had as much time with Edward as Ezio, he probably would be above Ezio. And
see, I
Altair is just a badass dude. Dude like storms in massive at like 92. Like the
yeah,
most fucking G shit ever.
my least favorite thing about Edward is like he's a pirate through and through, like the entire thing until like the last little bit of the game sets him up as like, oh well, this assassin order is like it's super important. It's blah blah blah. I have to be responsible. I have to like the entire game. He's kind of just like a pirate scumbag, and then like has a
He's
random
the
change of heart.
reluctant assassin. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
very
didn't
reluctant. He
he
didn't want to do it.
didn't he basically take up the mantle of assassin because I forget.
Mary died or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one girl died, who everybody thought she was a man because she's pretending to be a man.
yeah. She was
Um,
pretending to be James Kidd, and she was actually Mary Reed.
yeah, and she was in league with the assassins. She died, and Edward's just like, yeah,
Yeah,
she was right. I'm
but
gonna take over her what she was doing.
Well,
the
and
thing I
that game
feel
is
like,
just the game where you lose all of your friends too. Like that game
yeah,
is continually all of your best
killing
friends
everyone.
that you meet
Dude,
end up dead, and like the last cutscene of the game that's not your kid telling you that your wife that you've been a pirate for to earn money has been dead this whole time, which also stings. But like the last cutscene where you see all of your friends at the table, and then they all disappear because they're all dead. I'm like, man, this is really sad.
I think the saddest death was Blackbeard. I was very
Oh
upset when
yeah,
Yeah,
Blackbeard died, but he went out like a fucking G.
he
Um,
sure did.
but back to the modern day stuff. I really like playing as Desmond in those 3 modern day missions, especially the one where you fucking what is it called? The leap of faith. The when you leap of faith off of the skyscraper. I was like,
Yeah.
I want an Assassin's Creed game set in modern day. I think that would be really
And
cool.
originally, that's what Watch Dogs was kind of billed as, and it kind of
Yeah,
shit the
and
bed.
I think that's kind of why I like Watch Dogs so much. Like, I really enjoy Watch Dogs, the first one at least.
Yeah, the
I thought it
Second
first
was
one's okay.
good.
one's not bad. Like, it's got a generic story, but I do like the mechanics in the game. I
And
do
I
like
really like
Aiden as a
Aiden Pierce's
character.
voice actor.
I like
He,
Aiden as a character. The story
you want to
could
know
have been
something funny about
better.
him?
What's up?
Have you ever seen Saw 2?
Yeah,
You know the first trap in Saw 2, the like fucking
there's a lot of
there's
Saw
the
movies,
giant
brother.
the first trap in the second movie
There's a
though.
lot of Saw movies, brother. There are like
What he's saying is I
I am
11
don't approve of
episodes
that
specifically
now.
specific
saying
trap.
in the second movie. Oh, okay, I get what you okay.
I
There are
think
a
you're just
lot of
stupid.
movies, brother.
I'm stupid. All right.
There's a
It's
lot
the
of
trap.
so let me rephrase
It's
it. There's a lot of traps, brother.
it's the trap where the guy has the key under his eye and he's like it's gonna close in on him like
Oh
one of those
yeah,
spiky door
yeah.
things. What are those spiky door things called?
Um,
The medieval torture thing. It's gonna do that to his face though, pretty much. That
Iron
guy
Maiden.
is
great band.
pretty much an Iron Maiden. But that guy at the start of Saw 2, that's Aiden Pierce's voice actor.
Nice.
Yeah. I always thought that was kind of funny. But
I like that he traumatizes his nephew in that game.
he
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I did that mission because you can do that mission non-lethally,
I
and
tried
it's
to,
still
I
the
couldn't
same
figure it
cutscene.
out.
All you have to do is like run up and press B on all of them, like just melee them.
Oh,
Like because I did most of it stealth, and I was like, look, we got to get you out of here. And then I was like, uh, a few of the guys saw me, and so I hit them over the face. And he's like, wow, you, and I was like, I didn't kill a single person. You're in this cutscene saying I killed them. I did not. I
I hate when video
did
games
my
do
best.
that.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
I made it a focal point that I would not kill all of them to not traumatize you, and here you are, still fucked up.
yeah, like
Fuck you.
when I do something in a video game and the cutscene tells me the opposite, like that shit pisses me off. Like if I win in a fight and you told me I lost, that's stupid. Just make the boss really, really tough and make me not be able to win it. Like,
there is a
Yeah.
game that did things like that really well. It's this old spy game called Alpha Protocol. Um, trying to think of a game that's like, but like one of the scenes that always stuck out to me is there's a mission where you're meeting up with some like um, enemy spy agent, and you can either go in fully armored, which is what I did the first time through the game because like I wanted to like not die that level.
Yeah.
And he comments that's like, hey, you're not being very conspicuous that you because you're wearing all this armor. I'm like, okay, well, okay. I played through the game a second time, and I actually knew that mission was coming up, so I went in my civilian clothes, and he commented on me wearing my civilian clothes, which I thought was a neat little touch.
Yeah, I like when games like have little like details like that that are like, oh, this and this or that and that. Like, it's always fun to have games that do that.
See,
I don't like when like
before I get off this topic, a game. This is one reason I really love the game Undertale. Like Toby Fox programmed that game so that basically any way you play that game, the characters are going to comment on on that, and he's thought of so many different things that you can do in that game that the characters will all comment on.
Right. Yeah, that stuff is
Which,
always like really cool that they consider.
yeah, like reflecting what the player has done, it is such a small little thing that goes a really, really long way. Again, like my biggest gripe is not so much not acknowledging things that I've done because it's so cool getting those extra little lines, but like just have the story reflect what the player has done or gone through. Like don't job the player out when I've gotten in a fight that I win and like you bill me as losing it. Like that's fucking
Or another
wrong
game
to
that
me,
does
man.
it really, they do it well, but they use an annoying character. Um, Resident Evil Code Veronica. There's a section where you play as Steve, and there are three outcomes. Either you go through, you don't kill a single enemy. You go through like normal, you kill the enemies in your way and save ammo by killing not killing enemies that are in your not in your way, or you go and you just absolutely kill everything.
Massacre.
And like, yeah, he's got a really stupid line that he's got a really stupid line. It's like, I made it out and I saved ammo for future use. Um, if you don't kill a
That's
single
stupid.
zombie, yeah, it's stupid. But like, at least they thought, hey, you can do this. You can do this section multiple ways. Let's give the character a line for every single one.
Devil May
It's really
Cry
funny that
5 has that. Sorry about that, Caden.
I need to play
Um,
DMC5.
but it has that boss at the very beginning that's extremely hard. But I think you get a different cutscene for beating him because you're supposed to lose that.
Yeah, you can spend
yeah,
like
yeah.
20 minutes or something fighting him and just like frame perfect dodging and whatnot. And if
It's
you
really
beat him,
funny that
it literally rolls credits
yeah.
because he's the
Well,
final
because that's
boss.
meant to be Virgil, isn't it? Like Virgil is that guy.
I
'Cause he
think so.
transforms into Virgil. Yeah.
think so.
Uh, it's funny that Code Veronica has that in place when RE4 has like a terrible like the RE4 remake has a terrible way of going about that where it like actually will comment on your health after every encounter. But I was playing and I was on very low health and I did an encounter without getting like hit once. And she goes, "Oh my god, Leon, are you okay? You took a lot of hits there." I was like, "No, I look, I got stabbed three blocks ago. Not now."
Another game that did something like that really well was the Dead Space remake, where the cutscenes are going to play out like the lines are the same, the script is still the same, but based on like your character's current health, the way your character delivers his lines will change. Like if you're low
Because of
health,
his
like
like they'll be like,
yeah,
"Yeah,
he'll be like,
I'm
yeah,
fine."
That's
Versus like,
cool.
"Yeah, I'm fine." Like, yeah.
Well, also in the original Dead Space, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's
Isaac didn't
no
have
voice
lines in
acting
original,
from
right?
Isaac,
Yeah.
right.
right?
Just his
Yeah,
like
no, that
grunts and screams when he's getting attacked and like when he's stomping on things.
yeah. Dead Space 2 added a voice for Isaac. Halo Reach has some of my favorite, like, I guess it's not really like, oh, the player does this, let's comment on it. But if you just sit there and stare at, like, characters, there's a lot of dialogue for it. And I think one of my favorite ones is from Carter. If you just sit there and stare at him for, like, a little bit, it'll play his dialogue and it'll go, yeah, your file mentioned this. So it's canon that Noble Six just has a tendency to walk up to people and stare blankly at them for, like, minutes on end.
Maybe he's just
Um,
autistic.
it might be canon, but I would argue probably not because when you look into Noble Six's file, like he's the only Spartan other than Master Chief to receive the same
Rank.
accolade as Master Chief, and like 90%
Hyper-lethal.
of his file is all fucking black inked and
Black.
out.
Yeah, no, it's
Like,
great.
like Noble Six is a
But
dope fucking character.
Noble Six has some of the scariest like thought process behind him is the best way I can think about it because in if you're using his or her whatever your Noble Six is voice in Firefight, You know, like most characters, like if you're playing as Master Chief, like he probably won't say anything, but like Cortana might be like, "Oh, I got a headshot." When you get a headshot as Noble Six, he fucking chuckles. He just to himself, like laughs about it, and that's terrifying.
Because Noble Six is a fucking badass dude.
No, Noble Six is cool. Like, I mean, I want to say, you know, the final cutscene in Reach where you die.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for a game that came out
Spoilers.
13 years ago.
And was also spoiled in Halo 1, I believe.
Yeah, like you already knew how Reach was going to end, unless
Yeah,
you're
no,
me.
I'm
And
being facetious.
your first Halo game was Reach. My first Halo game was Reach, so I had no idea that that was going to happen.
I am gonna stop playing Traveler's Rest for the night. Kind of
But
had enough of it for now.
Yeah, I stopped playing Blood quite a while ago.
the final cutscene of Reach is, I want to say, like, it doesn't matter how long you survive. Canonically, Noble Six fought for like hours. Like that
Yeah.
cutscene is hours of him just going at it. Oh wait, how? No.
Yeah, canonically, it's a very long time.
So, question, Eric, you've played DMC?
I don't think that's accurate.
The reboot, right?
Not all the way through, but I've seen somebody play it all the way through.
Okay. How much of it
I
have
looked
you
it up.
played?
Maybe like 4 or 5 levels in. Like it just like
Okay, I probably got farther than you then.
Mechanically it was good, man. It's just like I didn't like the art, not the art, but the writing direction that they were told to go. Because like, make no mistake, like a lot of people think that Ninja Theory, like that was all their baby. Like they came up with more fateful designs of Dante, like both like art designs and character writing concepts that were closer to, like, it was still a younger Dante, but like it's like this is how we perceive he would get to where he's at when you first meet Dante in the series of Devil May Cry 1.
Because the reason I ask, and you've played 5?
Again, I've watched somebody play all 5.
Okay. Because like I wasn't a huge fan of 4. Like I forget exactly how far I got into it, but
I got stuck in 4 at some point. Like
not 4 in DMC. In DMC, I got stuck. I didn't get stuck. I just got to a point where it's like there are way too many mechanics that I have to pay attention to. I got to the point where they started introducing, like, there were blue enemies and red enemies, and then the floor would change colors, and you would take damage if you had the opposite color equipped. It was too much for my stupid brain to keep track of, so I just, like, yeah, I'm done with this. But, like, I watched Lauren play a little bit of 5, and I'm like, this looks cool. I might actually enjoy this. I was just wondering if it got to that point that DMC did, where it's just way too much to keep track of.
They kind of eggshelled 5, honestly, like because DMC had such a divisive reception. Because again, like, to finish what I was saying, Ninja Theory had ideas that were more closely related to like the Dante that we knew. But Capcom told them over and over again, no, we want something different. You need to do something different. Like, we're letting you do this. You have to do something different. So, like, they basically came up with different ideas until Capcom was happy. So, like, if there's any issues that anybody has with DMC, please don't blame Ninja Theory. Blame Capcom. It's Capcom's fault as to why
Capcom
DMC.
For a lot of things.
Fuck Capcom.
They killed Dead Rising.
They killed Dead Rising. They're killing Resident Evil.
We'll see what happens.
4 remake was good, but Resident Evil 8 sucked. I mean, it doesn't. Once again, I like Resident Evil 8 from
It's a good game. It's not a
horror
good
game
Evil
standpoint. Yeah, bad Resident Evil game. I looked up the Noble Six. How long did he survive? So the actual answer is like, like we said, a few hours. The Google answer is 37 years.
That
So,
means that
Noble
he was
said,
37 years old.
no, what it says is that his corpse was on Reach for 37 years before
They
they came back
reclaimed
to.
it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
reclaimed it.
But it's funny to imagine that mission goes on for 37 canonical years until he dies.
He dies of old age rather than like getting shot.
Hey,
Heart
Andrew,
attack in the middle of the battlefield.
You want to hop on Fall Guys so we have some gameplay going?
Yeah.
I can hop on Roblox.
No.
You can hop on Roblox. I'm not streaming it.
We're not streaming it. We're not streaming it.
And just
I don't even like Roblox that much. I don't even like Roblox that much. You guys just happened to catch me at a time where I was playing Roblox.
You just happened to catch me at a time when I was grooming children.
When you happen
My
to
cousin
lure a kid,
bought Roblox. My cousin bought $60 worth of Robux. My cousin bought $60 of Robux. You want to talk about who likes Roblox? Not me.
Your cousin's a groomer too.
My cousin's underage.
Your cousin's a lure.
Man. But yeah, no Roblox. Veto. That's 2 vetoes.
Well, mine's not even a veto. I'm saying he can play it. Just don't. I'm not streaming it.
Yeah, you can play it and tell me how great. Like the closest that I will say, yeah, we will have Roblox footage on this game is the shooter that just came out in the Roblox style. That's the closest that I'll say that, yeah, we could do that.
To be fair,
BattleBit, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
How long till we become a Fortnite channel?
Never.
Because I will never play
Thank
Fortnite.
God.
I would say I refuse to play any Battle Royale, but here I am loading up Fall Guys.
Yep.
I just, for me, like, I just fell off too much with Fortnite. Like, it's just not my thing. It's creative, and, like, their developers are always working hard, and they never get recognized for that. Like
I said,
they're some of the hardest working people out there in the video, because there's always something new.
I play Fortnite when I have, like, nothing better to do, really. And I've been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat 1 recently, so I haven't touched Fortnite.
Tell you what, the only time we will play Fortnite is if we start actually doing like live in person, like 3 of us are on the couch and we're playing.
Three
Fortnite.
of us on the couch and we're playing You can't split screen Fortnite.
We would take turns. Like I would rage and throw the controller, and then one of you would pick it up, and I'd leave the room awkwardly.
I like that's awkwardly. It's not like in mid-rage you threw the controller and like as you're throwing the controller you're getting up, fuck, as you're walking away. It's you throw it, fuck, stand up and scoot out of the room.
Exactly. Even though it'd probably be like we'd probably be recording at my place. It's like
I'm here to tell you, if we're at the point playing Fortnite, like I'm gonna be so drunk that I'm not playing video games. I'm just watching you two idiots play that
drunk
game.
Fortnite. We need to get
fair,
okay. Well, that's what we have to do. We have to get
Fortnite drunk.
We have to get both of you shit faced and play Fortnite.
Or I'll be very, very high. Like I'll take 100-milligram fucking edible and just be.
What's
gone.
Don't do that. I
What's a like one of those
I will tell
fighter
the
games
story
that people like that are fun,
after we stop recording.
What are the party games that like people play, like Gang Beasts and stuff? You guys just need to get drunk and play one of those.
Drunk Duck Game.
Drunk Duck Game.
That would
What
be
is
fun.
Duck Game?
It's probably like $10.
I'm gonna check Steam right now and see if it's like on sale. Not sponsored by Duck Game, by the way.
Not sponsored by Fall Guys, by the way.
Duck Game is $12.99.
It's not too bad.
How long till we get Cookie Clicker on the channel?
Cookie clicker.
Yeah.
It's an idle game.
It's riveting gameplay. Do you not know what Cookie Clicker is?
I have actually
I-
seen a
I
YouTube
don't
channel
remember.
do a speed run of Cookie Clicker. I don't understand what the qualifications for a speed run of that game are, but
There's a few categories. There's get a million cookies without clicking the cookie once, so you have to wait for a golden cookie and hope it's enough to buy a clicker. Then you buy that, and it slowly gets you cookies, and it's all RNG for that one. But I'm sure that there's other categories. I don't. Speedrunning is such a weird thing for me because I watched this guy on YouTube called Astral Spiff, and he does a lot of speedrunning of Five Nights at Freddy's games. He also reviews like he there's this Roblox thing called Doors, and so he was going through a lot of the rejected submissions of it. Like, and for like a free game like that, a lot of the submissions are just like shit posts because it's free, or like other stuff like that. Like there was a stipulation for the speedrun is you have to get to door 100. It has to be like an eligible video, like you can watch it without it being choppy. Your frame rate has to be good, and a bunch of other stuff like that. And people would like upload like oh, here's my speed run, and it's like a guy making it to like door 15 out of 100 and getting killed, and like he submits that as his speed run.
To be fair, you should always reject playing Roblox.
like the speed runs that I watch are like with like the Souls games, but they're all like modded to like randomizers and stuff.
Yeah,
I have a
randomizers.
love-hate. I have a love-hate with the concept of speedruns because usually, like, what ends up happening is we're just exploiting glitches.
Yeah,
And
I think
it's-
speedruns are kind of annoying because it's like when I play a game, I like to enjoy it, and I feel like a lot of speedrunners like, oh, I want to optimize this, I want to optimize this, I want to do this. And it's like if you enjoy playing a game like that, more power to you. But it just looks like a fucking miserable time for me. Like I would never speedrun because it's just not fun.
because there was a speedrunner I was watching play Super Metroid, and
Yeah.
the category he was doing was any percent, and then it was like not reverse boss order, but like the boss order was like mixed up, and he'd been for the longest time trying to set the world record for this. Like he'd been trying for the world record for like I think years, and I caught the VOD where he actually set the world record by like 4 seconds, and it drove the guy to tears because he was like, I can finally stop trying to beat this record.
And
That
then
is
2 months
upsetting.
later, somebody beat that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 4
I'll tell
days
you-
later.
That's awful.
But like
So you have my,
he wasn't playing it to set and keep the record. He just wanted the record at some point.
Right. I'll tell you my favorite speedrun thing. The only speedrun I think I've watched, I watched this guy called Easy Speeziest, and he's fine, but I think the best one is the blindfolded punch out speedrun. Because it's like, this
That's
dude
pretty
is
good.
using just sound to play punch out. I don't, like, that's badass. And that's more than just like, oh, let me optimize the game in a good way. This is like, I'm blindfolded and I'm speedrunning this shit. Like, it's sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can get behind
The only game I would ever speedrun is Duke Nukem Forever, and that's just to stop playing that awful, awful, shitty game.
It's not real. It can't hurt you.
It hurt me. I played the game. It hurt me a lot. I see a therapist every week and just talk about Duke Nukem Forever.
It's just a super mid game, like, which is unfortunate. Like, that's arguably worse than like anything. Is just being a mid experience.
Not worth my time. Yeah, because like if it was so bad it's good, or not like so bad it's good, but so bad it's like, you know, or at least it's fun, and I don't think I'd have as much of a problem. But the fact that I just like it was a slog through and through is what ruins it.
We'll play a game called Giraffe Town that's a really good example of something that like starts off as a bad game that becomes a good game in like it starts off being so bad that it's funny to being like an actually like okay game. It's one of the most interestingly designed games I've ever seen somebody play. I do want to play that at some point.
What is it about? I've never heard of Giraffe Town.
It is about it's about a depressed giraffe with slippery feet that needs to go to the other side of town to find another giraffe called Love.
Is it one of
It
those games
sounds
that
like
plays
an
like
Octodad game. Yeah.
Yes.
I will
No
watch it. I
fucking
will not
thank
play
you.
it.
It starts
I'm
off.
not gonna. You
It
can play
starts
it, Eric.
off like that, but eventually, I'm not going to spoil too much. But eventually, it plays competently to where you're not slipping around, and it's just a really funny story. I enjoy it a lot because it's like it's almost like the Room levels of bad, and then it just like becomes competent. I don't know how to properly explain it. It's one of those video games that's an experience. Man, I hate when games eat my inputs.
I just wish my game would load.
Yeah, I sent you like 4 invites and like was like, man, something's not
You gotta remember,
happening.
Andrew's running off of Windows XP because he's a fossil.
If he was truly running off of Windows XP, then he wouldn't be running Steam right now.
Yeah, I'm on 10.
Upgrade to 11, pussy.
There's reasons why somebody wouldn't upgrade to 11, and I understand why. I haven't upgraded to 11 because scared about compatibility.
Stop playing devil's advocate and be mean with me.
I won't be mean with you. I'll be mean to you, bitch.
I know. I hope you're happy.
The real answer is I'm never happy, but here we are. But here we are. Unless you want to count me like 100% of the time having a boner, which is physically the most happy a man can be, then I guess I'm happy.
100% of the time?
Yeah, that's physically the most happy a man can be.
I'm sorry, you're erect 24/7.
Yeah.
Well, that explains why you're so stupid. All the blood's in your dick.
Sure is.
That means he's erect even when he's looking at children.
To be fair, I don't look at children. You shouldn't look at children. Don't even look at them when they're around. Just look up.
That's why I don't go to the the swimming pool, because like you have like half naked children. It's like, why are you in boxers? Put a shirt on, slut. Oh.
The real question is, are the parents
Don't wear
their
boxers.
pimps?
What do you call them?
Swim trunks.
Swim trunks are basically boxers, but slightly longer. I also have really long boxers, so.
I mean, to be fair, like, athletic trunks are very comfortable.
I don't like any kinds of shorts. I only wear jeans and like long pajama pants
Oh,
exclusively.
athletic trunks being a type of underwear. I almost
have no idea what those
exclusively
are.
wear jeans. They are a gift from God. They are the underwear that are they're kind of like boxer briefs, but they're usually made out of like a silkier material.
Oh yeah, I know what those are. I don't like them that much. I like just regular old cloth boxers.
I like the cool feeling on.
Actually, just you know, like the panties Ryuko Matoi wears in Kill La Kill. That's what I wear all the time.
You know thongs. You know thongs.
You know the
banana
Borat?
hammocks.
You know Borat, the thing he wears in Borat. That's what I just like have under my clothes 24/7.
I don't remember what he wears. I know there's a banana hammock. I think
It's like that really
It's
weird one piece.
the green, yeah, the green one piece that's like got his like dick entirely. Like, yeah, that's what I wear under my clothes 24/7.
I'm a nudist actually. I just let it all hang out.
I'm actually like a nudist, but to the extra extreme. I like have skinned all my skin off, so I'm just a meat man.
Meat man.
Yeah, like super meat boy. Except like I don't do parkour. I just like I
Look
just
at
suffer.
Look at my meat boy. Look at my meat boy. He bounces and he climbs on walls sometimes.
Would you have sex with Super Meat Boy?
No, because it'd be gay.
Okay, would you have sex with Bandage Girl?
I don't know what Bandage Girl looks like, so I'm gonna have to say no. Also, I fuck
She's the
women,
pink-
not girls. Don't fuck kids.
A woman is a girl.
Listen, man, I'm just saying that I've never heard anybody consensually have sex with a woman and go to court about it. If you consensually have sex with a girl, you're probably more likely to go to court about that. You see what I'm saying? It's about, like, absolute solid, like, denying that you've done anything wrong because you haven't done anything wrong. Being 100% in the right at all times.
We always have the policy don't fuck kids. Are we allowed to murder kids? Is that like
Yeah.
on the... Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Like, I mean, murder sucks, but, like, you know, if you're gonna murder, like, you know what I mean? There's no extra. I mean, I guess depending on who you ask, but like statistically, like kids are just going to be adults one day, so you're murdering a person. It's fine.
Well, children aren't people, in my opinion. I don't believe kids have souls. I think you gain a
You don't
soul
have
when you
soul.
become 18.
You don't
I
have a
have
soul.
many souls. I'm
until...
like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. I've never taken a soul from a kid though, and that's why I don't think they have souls.
Has your game loaded yet?
Nope.
Have you given up?
Kind of.
I can
Okay.
here strip poker at the inventory. Let's see
No,
We're
that.
we're
not
not
streaming
streaming
that.
that.
We're not streaming that.
Why not? What's wrong with titties?
There are
There's
children
nothing
in
wrong
that.
with
Don't
titties,
fuck
But
kids.
we
There
are
aren't children in
posting us on YouTube, which that will get
And
us, that will get the video demonetized if we ever start making money.
monetize like we're making money with half the shit we say.
That's why we need to get a sponsor from Raid Shadow Legends.
Or gamer subs. I'd be fine with a gamer subs one.
I want to get a sponsorship with Bad Dragon.
I want to get my own U2s so I can put myself in a jar and cum in it.
You know, you could just lay on your back and come on your own face.
Dude,
Like,
you know how hard it is?
If you've got that much of a hankering to just cover yourself in cum, like, you don't need a 3D printed version of you to do that.
Alright.
You can come on yourself for free.
Imagine like pulling that magic trick off in the bedroom. Like you're with a girl and you stand up like mid-sex. She's like, "What are you doing?" You point your dick straight up and you come and like in your own mouth. And you go, ta-da!
Conversation.
You're not cutting. Why would you cut
Why?
this?
That's
Silence me,
so
you commie
boring.
bastard.
That's so boring. Need to talk like cum is totally okay to talk about.
Look. The only reason you would cut this conversation is because U2s won't give us a sponsor after I said I would do that. But I don't think we want a sponsor from U2s anyway, so we're fine.
I want a sponsor from U2s so that I can buy all my U2s and like hawk them on eBay for an even higher price.
They're like $40. They're like $40 each. I actually bought a U2s recently. It like because like you pre-order them, and the only reason I did it is because I've been watching Germa since 5th grade, and so they gave him a U2s, and I was like, I gotta buy it. I'm his #1 fan. You know?
Numero uno.
Yeah, exactly. So I bought a U2s, and that's the only U2s I'll ever fucking buy. And it really pisses me off the amount of times I've done this where, oh, I hate insert thing. Fucking hate it. It's terrible. Oh, Germa? Or, I was like, man, I hate puzzles. Puzzles are stupid. Why would anyone do a puzzle? Then I saw an X-Men puzzle with Wolverine on it. I went, oh, and I bought it immediately. And I had fun doing that puzzle, and I'm really fucking mad about that.
Yes, subject material, man. That matters.
I mean, I did a puzzle with my girlfriend as well, and that was fine. Like, I like that one as well. So, like, maybe I do like puzzles. I won't admit it. Because I'm stubborn.
That's part of it. Man, I would be really upset if we cut every time we talk about cum.
Well, I haven't
Andrew,
cut
I
any
refuse
of
to
the
let you
times.
cut this.
What are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna
I will
come.
come in. I'll come. I will come into your place of work. I will walk into the back room of your place of work, and I will look your manager in the face and be like, "Sir, Andrew here said come on a podcast and cut it," and he'll fire you immediately.
I don't think he would.
Why not just go for like he touched me?
Like the manager would respond with, "Yeah, he touched me too." Grow up.
To be fair, this is the same manager who I told him the only way I can come is if somebody beats me with a chair.
Cut out there. All it said was, "This is the same manager that chair."
This is the same manager who I told him the only way I could come is if somebody hit me with a chair.
See, he'd be upset that you cut the cum line.
I was also talking about a fellow coworker.
See?
And just in case any HR representatives are listening, it was a joke.
In case any HR representatives are listening to this right now, yes, I did sexually harass myself at work. What are you gonna do about it? Look, I had to pee, and I had to touch my penis to pee, and like, what, you're gonna fire me because I sexually assaulted myself? Fuck you.
I sexually assault myself every night.
You can't rip the willing.
I never consent when I masturbate, but I still masturbate.
I mean, to be fair, when's the last time you've asked yourself for permission when you've masturbated? When's the last time?
Alright, yeah, exactly. When's the last time you've asked yourself for permission versus the amount of times you've gone, I don't really want to jerk off tonight, and then you end up jerking off that night, and like...
I'm bored,
Like-
I can't sleep.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Got all this fucking cum in me that it just needs to be out. Like, there's no reason
The
for
title
it
of
to be
this
in
episode
there.
just gonna be Cum. Are we titling
can
this one
be.
Cum?
Can we call it Cum Town?
I'm gonna put an
It's
asterisk
another
on the
podcast.
U.
That's another podcast. Cum Town is a separate podcast.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're gonna come
Oh,
in
we can-
expecting
we
the
can-
internet.
We
I'm
can call
giving up
it.
on Fall Guys loading because it's still just hanging.
We can call it the one podcast idea that a coworker gave me once, called Cum Talk.
Cum Talk.
Cause Cum Talk, but spelled, cum. We can do that.
If I was in the Avatar universe, because water bending, right? Like cum is kind of water. Do you think I could come into my hand and?
There's a lot of fan fiction about that
I
already.
mean, blood bending is a thing, which stems from water bending, so I don't see why not.
I, the cum bender. Where's that Mortal Kombat character? I need we have the water ninja, we have the fire ninja, the ice ninja, the smoke ninja. Where's the cum ninja?
To be fair, what would you name the cum ninja? What would you
Well, you
name
know
a
how-
cum bender?
Like you know how Rain is called Rain because he's the water ninja, and Sub-Zero is Sub-Zero
He's
because
called Rain
he's
because
the
he's
ice.
purple, and it's a reference to a Prince song.
Purple rain.
True.
I can't actually sing that
Weird.
song because we'll get demonetized.
Which is weird because in the Mortal Kombat 11 fatality he does a Queen reference. Like, you know, the Galileo thing where it has like all four of them there.
Mm-hmm.
He does that, and it's like all the other, like, it's Reptile, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero behind him for some reason. Anyway, what the Cum Ninja, he would be all white, and his name would just be like Cum.
Yism. His name would be Yism.
His name would be Jizz.
His name would be Yism.
Why Yism?
Because Yism's funny.
It's just like fucking smoke comes out. Where there is smoke, there is fire, and he walks out. Where there is dick, there is cum.
Suck on my white pea. Which is the funniest thing to call cum, by the way. White pea's the funniest
White pea.
thing. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a ghost load during this match.
Ghost load. Wait,
He has a move.
can the cum
he,
ninja just be Danny Phantom?
he has
Gonna come!
he has a move that's identical to Scorpion's Get Over Here. But instead of, like, you know, using the spear, his dick shoots out a wad of cum that grabs you and pulls you towards him, and he says, "Come over here."
Looks like you're coming over here.
You know Reptile's acid ball that he shoots out, the fucking green ball he shoots out? Yeah, so he shoots out a cum ball, and it's a ball of cum. Can't believe we're adults talking about, like, a cum ninja in Mortal Kombat. We are not fucking
I mean, to be
mature
fair,
members
like,
of society.
to be fair, ejaculation
yourself.
jokes only get funnier. They only get funnier.
True. What other cum move should he have, like, you know how Sub-Zero freezes you in place? Should he, like, throw a giant wad of cum at your feet that makes you get, like, stuck in place because it's so sticky?
I think that he should throw it on the ground, and if you step on it, then
You get stuck?
Then you get stuck.
What would his fatality be, though?
Just makes you
His
pregnant.
fatality. He'd just fuck your mom. He'd just
Like-
fuck your mom.
Like, a door shuts and, like, you just hear a bed creak and, like, the character just goes, "Oh, he's fucking my mom," and they pull out a gun and shoot themselves. That's all that happens.
Can we call him Cum Zero?
Zero.
Would Cum Zero be a good name?
I like Yism.
Yism.
It has to be something cum related though, or like, you know, because, like, you know, Scorpion, like, is like the only ninja who isn't like, oh, like him and Ermac are the only ones that are like, oh yeah, we're ninjas, but like our names aren't very like.
I mean, to be
You know, like,
fair,
Rain
the,
is the water one.
Come Over Here chain is reminiscent of a scorpion tail. To be fair.
Yeah, that's true. The Get Over Here is like a scorpion's tail and stuff. Ermac, his name is based on Error Mackerel, which was like they were like, oh, there's a character called Error Mackerel if you like, because of the secret fight in the second game or whatever, and they made it up, and so they actually added him in the game.
I hate that most of Mortal Kombat secret characters are, what if we just took Scorpion and Sub-Zero and made them a new color?
I mean, they did that. They did that. That's what Jade was. She was just like, what if we took
Yeah.
Cortana and she was green?
Yeah, it's just like, man. But I get it. Like, video games were just more limited at that time.
I mean, yeah, because like Noob Saibot was like one of the most like if you look at Noob Saibot's design now, like, wow, he looks cool. And if you go way back in the day when he was first introduced as a secret character, she's like, oh, it's Scorpion or Sub-Zero, but he's like completely black, like it's just a shadow and blue eyes. That's not really an interesting design
Blue
choice,
eyes,
but
white dragon.
like back in the day, like back in the fucking 80s when that came out, it was like, whoa, secret ninja. And then you get your ass kicked by it because it's like an impossible fight because like all those fights sucked because Mortal Kombat had input reading, so that way you would lose.
So that you'd spend more quarters.
Exactly.
Because, you know, Mortal Kombat would have never made it to 1 if they weren't scamming kids out of their quarters.
True.
In the 90s. Because that was the trick of making money back then, was you made your game so hard that, like, it was really, really hard for a child to beat so that they would spend more money on it. Or you make it, like, random generate under the same, like, property, just slightly different, like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. But even then, those do have a last level because glitch screen.
Yeah. Would you have sex with Pac-Man?
I would have sex with Mrs. Pac-Man because that wouldn't be gay.
If Pac-Man were wearing socks and you were wearing socks, would you have sex with Pac-Man?
I want to know what that Waka Waka do. What? Like, come on. Like, that's a different type of head altogether.
It probably. I feel like it. All right. Oh, you don't talk about head.
Are they gonna
Mortal
bite?
Kombat. You know who
Is it gonna
Melina
hurt?
is, right? You know Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Is that the one with the lower jaw?
She's the one with the Baraka teeth.
Okay.
Would you let Melina give you fellatio?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Is that like just female Baraka?
I can send a picture.
Yeah, you should send me a picture. I'm not gonna say I want to fuck something that I don't know what it looks like.
I'm specifically going to pull up the MK9 variant, just because I think that one has the most fucky teeth.
This is all I gotta say about fucked up teeth and sticking your dick in a woman that has fucked up teeth. I mean, like, it just depends. Am I dating her or am I just fucking her?
How are there no fucking images of, like, Mortal Kombat 9 Melina?
Because reasons.
Oh, perfect. Here's an image. Kind of. Shit. Andrew, do you know who Melina is, right?
Yes.
You know what she looks like to a T, pretty much?
I wouldn't say to a T, but yeah, I know what she looks like.
Would you receive fellatio from Melina?
No.
There you go, Eric. Any reason, Andrew?
I like the prospect of still having my dick after I have it sucked.
There.
I mean, they say it grows back after 3 years.
Is that true, though?
I don't know.
Okay, and now the game won't even launch from the Epic Store. Great.
They also say that if you break it, it gets longer.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to crack my dick in half.
There was somebody that was telling me about their penis woes, and it was funny, but it also was sad because they were talking about how they weren't they were like smaller than average and they were uncomfortable with it.
Why would you
and it
ever
was-
admit that to someone?
Right? I don't know if he was joking or not. Let's take a
Did
look
he
here.
sound genuine?
Yeah. Put a fucking mouth guard on both sets of teeth, and yeah, I would go to town on that. Lube them fucking bitches up, and let's go.
Jesus Christ, Eric.
As long as there's mouth guard, like I'm not gonna lose my penis. I mean, I want to know what that tongue do.
Okay.
Again, mouth guard, loopholes. I played sports. Yeah, y'all didn't think about that. Oh man, those teeth, those sure are a problem. What if I didn't make them a problem?
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah.
What's the dumbest cooking mistake you've ever made?
The dumbest what?
Cooking mistake you ever made? Like, I don't know, like hypothetically, you forget to add tuna to, like, you know, tuna helper, like the thing that requires tuna.
Huh. I wonder where you got that from.
I just pulled it up out of nowhere. Just thought about it.
Well, probably that, because, you know, I was making some tuna helper one day. I'm dumping all the stuff into the pot, starting to bring it to a boil. I'm like, huh, I feel like I'm missing something here. I look at the back of the
Definitely.
box. It's like, oh yeah, probably the meat that's supposed to go in this stupid thing.
You're gonna make a vegan tuna helper, which, I mean, in all technicality, there is, like, pescatarian is like a thing. Like, you know, you eat fish because you need to have fucking protein, obviously, and then, like, you also eat, like, the vegetables and stuff.
This is bugging me so much.
What?
That Fall Guys launch.
Yeah, now it won't even, like, the like little splash screen that comes up will pop up, go away, and then it just, the loading screen doesn't even come up anymore.
Oh, maybe you gotta verify your files. I don't know.
I did that, and that's what stopped. That's what made it stop working.
Oh.
That's why I didn't want to go through the fucking Epic Games bullshit, because
Which is fair.
Honestly, Epic Games hasn't made a good game since Gears of War 3.
You play Fortnite.
I never said it was a good game.
You play Fortnite, bro. What do you mean hasn't played a good game since? Oh, get fucked on, loser.
Oh, so you're saying Fortnite's a good game?
I'm just saying that you play it.
I never said it was a good game, though. Playing a game does not inherently make it a good game. You play Duke Nukem Forever. Is that a good game?
To be fair, if it's your first game ever, maybe.
Ride to Hell Retribution. Have you ever played that?
I will probably never play that game. Like, say what you want about Duke Nukem Forever, I can play through that as intended all the way through. You cannot say that about Ride to Hell.
I mean,
that game is broken.
You can beat it, though.
You can, but, like, it's broken. And again, like, I'm sorry, I'm not 12.
What was it
people...
Miyamoto said? A delayed game is eventually a good game, but a rushed game is always bad.
That's slowly becoming untrue.
I mean, it became untrue when Fallout New Vegas released.
Um,
because
was that game delayed?
Obsidian wasn't. It was rushed because um, Bethesda did not give Obsidian a lot of time. It was what, 10 months? I want to say.
It wasn't very long. It's a good game, but like it does have some issues, and you do like, despite what the world wants to tell you about that perfect gem of a game, like you do want to run at the very least the unofficial patch on that game.
Yeah. Fallout New Vegas is a broken mess, but it's a good game story
It
wise. And
is.
even then, the problem is a lot of like the story like beats miss because of how rushed it was. They had to write it like a certain way or whatever. More games need to incorporate the ability to kill kids though, because I really wanted to shoot the Mick and Ralph Crier like every time I saw them.
Like that's my thing is like a lot of games just don't have kids in them so that you won't shoot them, but it's like, yeah, like then why are you letting me shoot people?
I know, right? Like, isn't there a thing where if like, oh, well, if your game like lets you kill kids, like it has to be adults only rated or something?
And it might be something like that. It might be something stupid censorship like that.
But I'm almost positive there's modern day rated M games where
Are
you
you
can kill
HIV
kids
positive?
regardless. Oh, that was probably my dad because he was a heroin addict.
Are you HIV positive? Apparently
Eric, I hope
the
I hope
reference
you get.
is died on you.
I know what the fucking reference is.
Do you?
It's a reference to South Park.
Okay. You do know. Okay, good.
Yeah, you know how much South Park? I was watching South Park at age 5, my guy. That's why I'm so fucked.
A lot of people were watching South Park at age 5.
Yeah, I know. That's why this entire that's look. That's why like the world is a shitty place is because everyone like uh, me. I grew up to be a Randy Marsh. No, not
Integrity.
Randy. Yeah, never mind. Fuck that. God, I hate the newer seasons. I'm glad Matt and Trey are doing what they want to do with it, and I'm glad that they're happy with how it turned out. But my God, I fucking hate the Integrity plotline.
I mean, it's
It's
cool
just
that he owns a pot farm, but they're not really doing much with it.
all that it is haha, I own weed, haha, weed, and that's about it.
Which, to be fair, like that is a pretty big cornerstone of Matt Stone and Trey Parker's personality. They were Seth Rogen before Seth Rogen was a thing.
But Integrity, like what they're doing with Integrity and like a lot of their newer episodes is like, they recently bought and renovated Casa Bonita because it was going out of business.
At the Bonita.
And so they bought and renovated it, and they have an episode where Kenny and Hartman start up a business, a very successful business, and like a lot of that episode is just like, instead of being like, oh well, this episode is about this week's politics or this that happened recently on the news or whatever, it's more about their own experiences with like renovating Casa Bonita and like all the actual hard work that goes into doing something like that, which is really cool. But then you get the Integrity plot line, it's like I get what you're saying. It's about like, oh well, South Park's moving to different pastures, you know, we're like doing more than just this and that and this, and it's like, it's cool and all. Do we have to have like integrity in every single episode though? Like, it stopped being a show about the South Park kids and started being a show about like just Randy.
Yeah, which is fair. They definitely have kind of moved on to telling like actual stories, which isn't the
Like,
worst.
it's not
But
the
like,
worst, but it's not the best.
yeah, again, like Kanye West as the gay fish is always going to be a kind of funny.
But then he showed back up not as the gay fish and was like because he did that whole like thing where he agreed with Hitler or something on that podcast. So now it's like it's no longer the gay fish joke. It's, well, he's a Nazi.
Kanye West is a weird subject that I really don't feel like getting into.
Yeah, I don't want to either.
Because it's complex, and I'm good on that. Never
Kanye
cared
West,
for his music.
listen, Kanye West
I'll
hasn't
leave
made a
it.
good song compared to T-Pain, because Kanye West never rhymed mansion with Wisconsin, and
Mansion
that's all
with
that matters.
Wisconsin.
You know about
good.
that, right, Eric?
Yeah.
I can put
Pretty
you in a
good.
mansion up in Wisconsin. Love T-Pain. I mean, granted, Kanye West, he has a song called Power, where he rhymes whole ass with asshole, followed up by rhyming asshole with asshole.
Yeah. It's like I said, I've never really cared for his music all that much.
The only reason I know that song is because of Saints Row the Third.
his-
It's the parachute into the party mission.
You know, never cared for his music, and his shoes are way too goddamn expensive. Like that's all I gotta say right now.
Bless you.
Thank you. Allergies have been insane this week.
You have allergies? What are you allergic to?
Your bullshit.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm allergic to, Eric?
I know I'm definitely not allergic to fucking your mom's pussy.
Eric is the biggest, like... Eric is the biggest 12-year-old I know.
Goddamn right. Don't fuck me.
I'm not going to...
I don't think that's where that was going.
I don't think that's even, like, plausible, because it's like, yeah, mentally you're fucking 12, but, like, not mentally. You're still an adult, so you have power over me. If I fucked you, I could easily turn that story and be like, no, he overpowered me. He's the adult here. Look at how big and buff he is. He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the
Look
fucker.
how big and buff this 12-year-old is.
He's not 12. He's fucking...
Don't say how old I am. Don't dox me, bro. Don't dox me.
He's not 12. He's 13.
He's 509.
I'm actually over 1 billion years old. Again, Dragon God. That's just what it be.
Dragging these
sorry,
nuts across your
folks.
head.
Man, that joke's never gonna be good.
Oh yeah, it's never
never
like
gonna be
fucking my
good.
mom is.
Oh yeah, it's always gonna be good. You know why? Because fucking your mom always feels so good.
Hey Andrew, do you have Eric's mom's phone number? I'd like to call her in the next podcast episode we do.
Eric,
No,
can I get your mom's phone number for completely unrelated reasons?
No, I am not going to hand out my mother's phone number. That sounds like a bad idea. It sounds like
Eric,
somebody
do you have
might know me.
Andrew's mom's phone number? I need it for the podcast next episode.
No, but I can give you your mom's phone number just in case you forgot it. It's 1458 22 freak. Freddy Freaker.
God damn it. Have you ever no, that's not the fucking Freddy Freaker is not what I was going to say. You ever see that movie Freddy Got Fingered?
Yeah.
Movie fucking
It's
sucks.
not a good movie.
Daddy, would you like a sausage? Would you like a sausage, Daddy? Such a stupid
To
fucking...
be fair, they did say in an interview that they set out to make the worst movie ever, so it is a successful movie.
Was that literally Tom Green's whole thing for that movie? Was like, yeah, I wanted to make a shitty film, so I did.
Kind of.
Have you guys ever
Tom
seen
Green was
Clone
married
High?
to Courtney Cox, like, during the making of that movie, which is insane because Courtney Cox, she was hot. Like, period.
Why would you marry Tom Green?
To be fair, like, at this point, I would marry Tom Green.
Why?
A, I'm a gold digger. B, Tom Green's is one of those like funny, not funny people.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Where like he's
Yeah.
not funny, but because he's not funny, it's funny.
Yeah, it's like there's quite a few comedians like that, like Amy
Like Tommy
Schumer,
Wiseau.
Yeah, just like The Room.
just like The Room, the entire movie The Room. Have you seen the video of Tommy Wiseau where he's like, oh, it's me, the new Joker, and like they do the clipboard clap, and it immediately cuts to him just screaming.
Yeah, I'm really sad he gave up on trying to have a Let's Play channel.
He tried to have a let's play. What games would he try to play?
He sold it on DVD too, because it was a long time ago.
Just imagine like you're waiting eagerly for the mail to show up, and like, oh, it's finally here. The new Tommy Wiseau video on YouTube is here, and like you fucking pop it in.
In
Hello
the
guys,
first
today
episode, he
we are
gets
playing Happy Wheels.
in the first episode he gets abducted by aliens. I believe. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, just look it up, dude. It's interesting. It's a trip. You'll swear it's not real.
So you're telling me he had a Let's Play channel where he's playing fucking like Fortnite, like not actually because it was way forever ago, but like let's just say Fortnite for the simple fact. He's playing Fortnite and randomly like his webcam, you just see an alien walk into his room. He's like, "Who are you? What are you doing?" And the dude's like, and then like he gets abducted.
Kind of. The most
That's
modern
stupid.
example that I can give you is you remember when Jack Black said he was gonna play video games and like he
does it?
basically didn't.
I
He
thought he did.
basically he did like play one game, but it took him like a year and a half to get there. So, and like everybody lost interest and nobody cared, and it doesn't matter anymore. Kind of like that, I imagine,
Oh, what Tommy Wiseau?
but with Tommy Wiseau.
Okay then. I have to like next podcast I'm gonna have to stream with my like webcam on and like have a dude come in green face and like abduct me.
That's
Yeah, and
very insensitive.
like 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 you're like, oh, okay, I just got abducted. You guys keep talking, and then I just show back up. Except now I'm all blue, and it's like yeah, they probe me.
Are
What's
you
up, guys?
indeed a Badai?
Yes, he would probably beat off a guy.
I told
you
you
heard
that
the,
story, right? I told you that story, right?
What, where you beat off a guy? No, go on.
No, so I've got a friend named Travis, and like he was maybe like 14 when that song came out, and he legitimately thought that the song was "I'm Blue and I'd beat off a guy,"
Okay then. Have you heard
which
the new
makes that
version
song
they
fun.
have of that song?
No.
I have. and
I hear it
it's
on
terrible.
various grocery store radios, and I looked it up recently because I was talking to my buddies about it because I was like, this like fucking sucks. Like it's terrible.
Yeah, it's so bad that the singer killed himself.
Did he? I didn't know that. But like the lady
Yeah,
who sings the new one, she's like the lyrics. It's meant to sound like I'm blue, but it goes, I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Yeah, yeah.
that. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I wasn't expecting this because, like I said, I've only heard it in grocery stores. Grocery stores don't play the explicit version for obvious reasons. So, like, I'm like, yeah, see, it's terrible. And it immediately goes, I'm about to have the best fucking night of my life. I'm like, why? What is this song? Like, this, like, is nothing to do with I'm Blue other than that you use the same melody. It's like,
to be fair, the grocery store you're thinking of plays what's that band? Panic at the Disco's High Hopes, or no, not that song. It's a song by Fall Out Boy. I get those two bands mixed up every now and then. But they censor the word. Or no, it is High Hopes by Panic. It's the song High Hopes by Panic, and they censor out the word killing when he says I could have made a killing.
right.
Which, like, that's so dumb.
Yeah, like, okay, sure, the word kill is, it has its connotation that it has a negative connotation when used when you're saying, "Hey, I'm killing this person."
Yeah.
But like to censor that
you-
out is just stupid.
If
I
you
mean, you
can't
know
be
what they
a
say
good
though. You know what
parent
they
and
say. That's
explain
what you get
stuff
when
to
you
your
try to
kid,
find a man in the Alps.
if you can't explain stuff to your kid because you're not a good parent, then like you deserve your kid becoming a shitty person.
Yeah. Granted, I used to listen to like when I was a kid. Once again, I would listen to like DMX Where the Hood At because it's the kind of music my dad would listen to. Good fucking song. Probably a 5-year-old shouldn't be listening to that though.
You know how I met your mom, Caden? I was in the
We're
club
not
and
gonna
the song
acknowledge.
"Who Let the Dogs Out" started playing. I hope you know what I'm talking about.
Shut up.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Maybe.
The song "Who Let the Dogs Out" is literally about who let these ugly bitches out in the club.
Oh, okay.
And it was in a Rugrats movie.
Kind of.
It sure was.
They had Who Let the Dogs Out in a Rugrats movie. That's really
Yes.
funny.
Yes, they did. It was in Paris, I think, is the one
I
that
believe
it was
so.
in.
So that's. I think the Paris one is the one where Chucky
The babies.
gets his adopted mother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that
also,
one's a
I
good
think
one.
that's the same one where, like, there's a kid that was talking about, like, it getting its umbilical cord cut, and another one talking about how it got circumcised.
Yeah. Rugrats is a good show. I mean, Rugrats was always full of like those adult jokes though, because like you got to remember like the doctor that they're always talking about. They're like, oh well, Doctor Lipschitz.
Lipschitz!
Yeah, Lipschitz.
There's like a cutaway gag thing they do. I think it's in like the Passover episode, where they're talking about one of the like Hanukkah related holidays,
Yeah.
and in Hebrew on one of the buildings that the babies are walking past when they're fantasizing about the past, it literally says circumcisions cut rate.
It's really funny.
I get it.
It's funny because pee.
Yeah.
No, adult jokes in animated shows were always like the funniest thing to me as a
Needed.
kid because
They're needed.
yeah, but because when I was a kid, I watched a lot of South Park by that point already. I got like all the jokes that are meant to be going over my head and shit. And so when I was in school, the few kids who didn't bully me, I would explain these jokes to them and like they'd be like, I don't get it, and I would have to like in detail explain it. I'm like, well, when you fuck a woman at like 6 years old, and I corrupted the youth, man, as a youth. I'm a bad influence on kids now, but
I've
even
got
then, I
two
was still a
really
little
good
shit.
jokes that I remember from Rugrats. One is the grandpa was watching the kids, and he,
Yeah, it's
rented
sexy
some
alien
movies.
vixens.
He rented a couple movies for the kids, and then he rents a fucking porno for himself. But the other joke is he comes back saying he just got back from playing Russian roulette with the boys, and
Back from playing.
the dad asks him, "Did you win?"
Man,
And the grandpa just says, "You don't know what kind of game Russian roulette is, do you?"
Man,
it'd be funnier if his mic didn't cut out.
no, I think it's funnier that his mic's cutting out.
It is kind of funny, but like
Because it's like Mad Lib's audience, just fill in the blanks.
the audience. Do you think our audience is smart enough for that? I'm not even smart enough for that.
Well, that's because you weren't dropped on your head as a kid. You were kicked across the fucking room. It's not your fault.
Well, you are, Eric.
Are you the oldest child?
Your dad?
No, you're not just the.
I'm your grandpa?
You're not the whole circus. You're the whole fucking clown. That's what you are.
Yeah. I'm also your grandpa. You know why I'm your grandpa?
So you fucked my grandma. Which
No.
who gave
Your
birth to
mom
my
just
mother.
calls me daddy.
Caden,
myself.
are you the oldest kid?
Yes, I am the oldest child.
Okay, you are the practice kid.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why I'm so fucked up and my sister gets coddled.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
That's
look how
usually
my
what
brother turned out.
happens. Which one?
The one you've met.
The one I've met. Is he the oldest?
Yes, he is the oldest. He was the practice child.
I mean,
And he was an
makes
alcoholic.
sense. Makes sense.
At least I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just depressed.
Yet.
Yeah, you should try drinking. Nothing chases the blues away like a depressant.
I'm not old
Like
enough
a
to buy a drink.
depressed.
Buy me a drink, Andrew. Commit a federal crime and buy this underage person a drink.
No.
I'll ask you when we're not recording.
It's fine. Andrew used to
Legal
buy
reasons,
me-
that's a joke.
Andrew used to buy me alcohol when I was only 15.
I didn't know you when you were 15.
How do you think he groomed you, Eric? That's how he got you to take those like photos of you dressed up as 2B. With your dick hanging out.
I mean, I vaguely remember that. Roofies are fun sometimes.
You know what would be really funny? Imagine you go to a bar, right? And you just start putting roofies in everyone's drink. I think that'd be kind of funny. Just roofie everyone at the bar and leave.
I do remember
Like,
hearing a
Would
story.
that make you a domestic terrorist?
Probably. I do remember
You're
hearing
not
a
doing it
story
for terrorism
where,
reasons, so no. You're not trying to spread fear, you're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, but still, I could see somebody arguing that you're a terrorist. I can see
I
it.
think what it makes you is like a supplementer of illicit drugs. You're like a drug dealer. Pretty much, but without like you're dealing the drugs technically. You receive roofie, I receive funny. Like, as the whole bar hits the floor, you know? You have to time it perfectly. You go up to the DJ at the bar, you're like, hey, yeah, like in about 30 minutes, can you play Let the Bodies Hit the Floor? And like it starts, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. And everyone starts fucking passing out.
Or drowning pool.
how many lead singers have they gone through?
I have no clue.
There's like a Scandinavian death metal band where one of the members took a shotgun and blew his head apart, and they use that as like their album art for the next album.
That's fucking metal.
It's awful. But yeah, I guess it's technically metal.
I just feel bad for drowning pool for the same reason. Well, not the same, but similar reasons to why I feel bad for Alien Ant Farm. There's only one song everybody knows. Nobody cared about anything else they ever did.
Well, they're called a one-hit wonder for a reason.
I thought they had called them one-hit wonders because, you know, they made their hit, and then you're like, oh, I wonder if they'll make another one.
Why'd you do
worst
the
thing about
Christian
Alien
voice
Ant
for that?
Farm- The worst thing about Alien Ant Farm, their biggest hit was a fucking cover.
A cover. Yeah, that's why I said
slapped, like,
similar.
it slapped hard, but it was a
It
cover.
sure does.
Well, like, I mean, like, what are they called? What's their name? The Don't Fear the Reaper guys. Blue Oyster Cult. I would argue they're a one-hit wonder because
No, they're
Don't
not.
Fear the Reaper. I name another Blue Oyster Cult song.
There are multiple of them, but I can't name them right now. But there are multiple of them.
Exactly.
It's
Point
just
pro-
their
point
that
proven.
was their biggest hit, and because they're Blue Oyster Cult's a band from like the 70s, aren't they?
Yeah. Like they
yeah,
toured with
roughly
Black
so.
Sabbath. Like, nah, like I promise you, they're not a one-hit wonder band. That's just perception of time. Again,
Fair enough.
but A, because I'm not old, and B, because I've got a really shitty memory. Like, I can't name the other songs, but they definitely had more than one hit.
But yeah, it's like
Promise.
saying Black Sabbath is a one-hit wonder because the only song they play on the radio anymore is Iron Man.
Hello, dear viewers. Today, welcome to Cadence. Where's a book? Let me pick up a... I don't have a book near me. Oh, I do. I have this Silent Hill book. Until Andrew's mic decides to connect back, Eric and I are going to read 50 Shades of Grey. I will be playing the role of... Eric, what's the girl's name in 50 Shades of Grey?
Your mom.
Got him!
thank you everybody for listening. This has been Unintentionally Offensive.
Are we supposed to say stuff? I thought we were supposed to say our names.
Good night.